My foot was a balloon.
This is Bruce Buffer, and this is the moment you've all been waiting for. It's time for the MMA-Holes!
Mixed martial a-holes. MMA-Holes, 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 MMA-Holes. You like to be a mixed martial a-hole. MMA-Holes, 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 MMA-Holes.
No way.
From the Queen Studios of New York, Blackwood's Jacare Fight Week. Tyson Fury versus Stipe Miocic. Is Logan Paul not done with fighting? MMA news with the MMA Holes. Yeah, 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 yeah.
Wonderful, wonderful.
Feeling frisky. We didn't change the episode. What is this, episode 45?
Yes.
Aha! I have to change the episode right now. Episode 45. There we go. Season 3, episode 45 of the MMA-Holes TGIW special tonight. Hope everyone is wonderful.
Wonderful, wonderful.
Wonderful. Jesse, how are you?
Wonderful, wonderful, Moss. How are you?
Wonderful, wonderful.
I got Hey Ladies drink pineapple juice shirt on, so I'm wonderful, wonderful. I haven't had pineapple in a while.
That's true. You haven't.
No.
Well, you probably shouldn't because it gives you heartburn.
Yeah. I had orange juice today, and that would give me heartburn as well, and that's probably why I'm burning up inside.
I
Yeah.
guarantee that's what it is.
Maybe the coffee, too.
Mm-hmm.
That could be it as well. I have heartburn. The last 3 days, a fiery chest of fury. I haven't had heartburn in years. And I'm popping the papaya pills and this and that, and I don't know what the hell's going on. I think it's the end. Is that usually right when you get heartburn, it's the end?
No, but you seem to think so.
I think it's the end. You guys, anyone in the chat have heartburn right now? Drop me with a heart emoji if you have heartburn. Or heartburn, whatever you have.
Wonderful, wonderful.
Milk, bro? Yeah. You know, I haven't been eating that great. So God knows. Yeah, papaya pills are the shit. In fact, I should just grab a couple of papaya right now, Jesse. What do you say? What do you think?
Do you need it right now, Moss?
Well, I feel like it's incoming. I feel like the burn's back. Like, I feel like
maybe
it's in there.
because you're thinking about it.
No, maybe it's because I feel heartburn. You can't really think heartburn.
Yeah, you can think
You
anything.
feel heartburn. Have you ever had heartburn before?
I have.
Oh, it's great, right?
It's beautiful.
Do you guys have any suggestions?
Wonderful, wonderful.
I always have heartburn, says NH. Yeah, I don't know what it is. Monch, you can't diet, yet you're still under contract with the Vigo clan. That's true. I have a plan. I know this has nothing to do with MMA, but I don't give a fuck. It's Wednesday. We have a 2-hour show. We're going to have a lot of fun tonight. I have a plan that I am going to lightly work out until March. And then I'm going to hit it hard. I'm going to go hard in the paint
Okay.
and look beautiful.
Sounds like
Jesse.
a plan.
Right? Does that sound good?
Sounds like a plan,
Okay.
Stan.
There we go. All right, so we have a beautiful show tonight. Heartburn. We have Stipe Miocic versus Tyson Fury. People are talking about this, and I'm like, what? I really don't want to see it. We got Logan Paul running his mouth again.
Super chat.
We got a super chat, Mr. Chop.
Is it gay giving your homies head?
Not at all.
No, Edmund, is it? Yeah, Edmund Tavarian. Is it Tavardian or Tavarian? Tavardian? Is it gay, Edmund? It's not then, right?
Yeah?
Yeah.
Guy
So thank you for the donation. I don't think it is. Right, Jess?
No.
No. So last night, I was sitting on the couch in a coma, enjoying my heartburn, and I noticed that I had an alert on Twitch, and I must have followed Stipe Miocic. He apparently is a gamer. and I followed him a little while back and never really paid attention. But last night, I decided to pay attention. So here I am sitting on the couch, and he had 30 people watching him. 30 people watching the heavyweight champ who just snatched his belt back. And he's playing video games. He's playing Call of Duty. Now, he has the personality of a moth. You know, moths are known for their personality. Very, right? Like, you ever see a moth, you're like, wow, look at the personality in that moth.
Yeah. All right.
Visually stunning.
Mm-hmm.
That's Stipe, you know? Everything about the moth, it's like, oh, it just lights up a room. Stipe Miocic
All right.
is the moth of the UFC. And I'm sitting there, and he's like, and he's just sitting there grumbling. Call of Duty. So I'm in the chat just writing all stupid shit here, seeing if he notices me. Of course he does, because there's only 30 people watching and 2 people talking, which I can't understand. Mighty Mouse probably has thousands and thousands of people watching. Who knows how many watch a Mighty Mouse? Mm-hmm. He's not even in the UFC anymore. But Stipe is doing that. And as this is happening, I'm saying to myself, look at this guy. He's the heavyweight champ. He's resting up his eye or something like that. You know, he's a fireman. He's a good guy. He's a family man. And here we're talking about him fighting Tyson Fury. I think it's retarded. Now, if Stipe wants to get paid, I get it. Right? I understand that.
You can't stop the Siberian Express. Choo-choo, motherfucker.
And here's Conor Hernandez.
We out her boy is.
Yeah!
Hope everyone is having a wonderful, wonderful day. Thank you, Moss and JBH.
Yeah.
Now Kindin is getting into MMA.
Nice.
We had a discussion about Masvidal and Nick Diaz. Crying face. I'm so proud. Thank you, you sexy, wonderful, wonderful hosts.
Wonderful,
Love
wonderful.
you too.
Wow, look at that, Jesse. Kindin's involved, Jesse. What do you think about that?
I knew it would happen.
Now, Kindin is Conor's cousin, right? Mm-hmm. We met Kindin on our second channel, Not the MMA-Holes. Link in the description. And shout out to Kindin if you're out there. So, getting back to this whole Stipe Miocic thing, I understand Conor fought Floyd and he made $1 gazillion on that whole thing, right? And good for him. He got paid. He looked halfway decent the first 2 rounds, and then it was all downhill from there. Floyd made him look stupid, like a stunad, which a lot of people expected. Stipe Miocic versus Tyson Fury, I feel that is going to be embarrassing for Stipe. Like, I mean, legit embarrassing. Stipe, he can strike, you know. He's got some pretty heavy hands for a big boy. But if you saw what he did with Ngannou, who is a heavy striker, he took him down to the ground. When it comes to boxing, a beast, a 6'7", what is he, a gypsy king? He's a king of the gyps, right?
Yes.
Yeah? Mm-hmm. You know, battling this gypsy.
Yep.
How the fuck does Stipe win that fight? How? It's impossible.
He doesn't.
Right? What do you think about this fight? We're talking
I think it's
about
a little ridiculous.
Right?
Yeah.
Right.
But
Right?
yeah.
Why do you think it's ridiculous?
I don't know. I find it a little absurd. I don't know. First of all, the chance of it happening is slim to none. I don't see it happening anytime soon. And I don't know. Like, I don't know why I find it absurd. I just find it absurd.
Because Stipe cannot box with Tyson Fury. I mean, let's be serious. At least Conor is a striker. You know, like, he's a straight up striker. That's his thing. That's his shtick. You know, in MMA, so you can make arguments. I can't make one goddamn argument why Stipe. What was that? Did I just get acidic for a second there? I almost like the Hulk when he gets mad.
What is
like
happening?
He turns into the Hulk. I went Hasid. I almost went Hasidic Jew. Did you see the curl that just popped out of the side of my head? I just, what the hell was that?
Moss.
Any Jewish people in the chat want to tell me what the fuck's going on?
Wonderful, wonderful.
Anyway, back to Stipe Miocic. How is he going to win that? How is he going to beat Tyson Fury?
He doesn't.
No, he doesn't. Tyson Fury says he's going to fight Wilder, and then he's going to look into this other thing. Now, he also dabbled into saying that he wants to jump into the MMA world. Now, if you have Tyson Fury, Stipe Miocic inside a cage, 4-ounce gloves, okay. Now we're talking. Now I'm a little interested. I'm intrigued here. But boxing? I mean, it really doesn't even make any sense. It's like when Khabib was talking about boxing Conor. Does that make any fucking sense to you?
I actually kind of think that's interesting.
All right. Anyway, let me see what the chat says about the situation. I want to know what the people think. Do people actually want to see this? Do people want to see Stipe Miocic versus Tyson Fury? Say he's still the heavyweight champ of the UFC. Tyson Fury defends his belt or whatever the fuck belt they fight for with Wilder. And let me know in the chat what you think. I know RX from Ohio probably would like this fight. I don't know.
David Oaxaca says, what? He accepted a fight with Fury? Officially? Dude, Stipe with pieced him up.
Wait, who said that?
Oaxaca.
Now, Oaxaca. Where's his name, Oaxaca? I have to look at his name.
Right there.
Where is he?
David Oaxaca.
David? Why am I not? Oh, here we go. Are you trolling me? You're entitled to your opinion. But are you trolling me? Let's see what else everyone says.
Ghetto Child says, hell nah. Amberly Rose, sure, why not? Robot Vigo, they will make the Vigo clan many shekels. We approve. Steven Perlowski says, so stupid. I want to see a boxer have to fight MMA. Nick C. Darren Till. T-Joints. Oaxaca. Wakanda. David Oaxaca says, sub dogs. And
Sup?
NH says, Fook Boxing. Aiden Santos, Tyson Fury, first round decapitation. Sean Hart, I'd watch, but Fook it. Steelers respect, boxing is overrated. Pulse Resurrected, I want to see Stipe fight Fires. Justin Jr., I love porn. Eric Melton, James Tony tried.
You know, it's a good point. If Stipe could fight Fires, why couldn't he fight Tyson Fury, right? He literally fights Fires. But he has weapons.
Yes.
Like water. Will he have weapons in it? Because if he has weapons against Tyson Fury, boxing, I feel then we have a shot, you know? Or we're going to give him a weapon. Maybe a fire hose. How about this? Stipe Miocic is allowed to bring in however many ounce glove, what, a 10-ounce glove or whatever they're going to fight with. Okay. And then in his other hand, a 4-ounce glove. He's not allowed to punch with it, but they have to duct tape a fire hose on that glove.
What is that going to do?
Well, it gives him the power of water. So if Tyson Fury gets a little crazy with a head movement,
it doesn't have to be water. It could just
know?
be like theoretical, like,
or hit him with a hose.
Like an analogy, like his water is his glove.
Well, what if he doesn't have to turn on the water, because if he sprays the water on Tyson Fury, you got to think it's going to get all over the crowd, right? It's going to hit him or he'll miss. The judges are not going to be able to see. So maybe let's axe that. Or you can give him an axe, because firemen have axes. You take the hose and you can just whip it at him, like a whip. So you duct tape the hose to his hand, but you let a little extra hang off the top, and he could fucking whip him with it. Now we have a fair fight. That's how ridiculous. Now, someone in the chat did say that they would pay for it. They would watch this. And as much as I think it's ridiculous, we would have to watch it because we're, a reaction channel. And I would watch it too. So as much as I think it's dumb, I would watch it. So now the question is, Chelsea.
So then you don't think it's all that dumb?
Well, it is dumb, but I will watch it. So now I realized I watch stupid shit. I enjoy it. So maybe the fight makes sense. Even though it's completely lopsided in favor of Tyson Fury, I would probably still watch it.
Super
But is it because it's my job or I want to? I don't know.
Put respect on Stipe. Name those body shots perfect.
Okay. What? What is he saying? Put respect on maybe the body shots by Stipe would give him an edge? Is that what he's trying to say? Thank you, Brazilian American soldier. You're wonderful, wonderful.
Wonderful.
Help me out here. So if you're just jumping in, Jesse and myself are trying to figure this out. Stipe Miocic throws it out there. Tyson Fury's like, yeah, let's do this. Let's box. All right. Now, Tyson Fury does have to fight Wilder, and some people in this MMA community probably don't even know who Tyson Fury is. Mm-hmm. And if you haven't seen the Gypsy King fight, watch. Just run back some of his fights. I mean, the guy's got serious moves for a Mongoloid. The guy's huge. His head movement is just on point. He's smooth. He's got the cardio. He's tough. We saw in his last fight, his whole face was sliced off. Complete thing. Off.
Wonderful.
Two Joints said something in there about the YouTube fights that I wanted to dabble on, and I missed it. Where'd it go, Jesse? Did you see it?
No, I think you have to go up further.
All right, where is he? He said something, I'm going to paraphrase because I don't know, I lost him. Wow, his chat's going. He said something, hey, we watch YouTube fights. So if we watch that ridiculous YouTube fight with Logan Paul and KSI, of course we would watch that, right?
Right.
But the question is, do we want it? We didn't want to watch that. We watched it because we figured we'd get some ratings, That's why we really didn't want to watch it. Did you
I
wanna
could
watch
have
that?
cared less about that fight.
So now the question is this. If we didn't have this show, would we watch Stipe Miocic versus Tyson Fury? What's the answer?
Yeah,
You
I would. Yeah.
And I would too. So
Yeah.
what are we saying here? I don't want to see it, but I would watch it. The fuck does that even mean?
Because I feel we don't want to see it because we think there are better matchups that can be made, and it doesn't make sense as an MMA fan.
No.
But we would watch it because it's an MMA champion in the ring with a boxing champion, and that is pretty interesting.
So let me get this straight. We are MMA fans. We love the sport. We're complaining about something that we will watch.
Well,
Sound familiar, chat room? I think we're all guilty of this. So now what do we do from here? Like, what happens from this point
Just shut up and enjoy it.
on? Maybe we should talk
Couldn't
about
stop this like being
Maybe we shouldn't complain
Choo-choo,
anymore.
motherfucker.
We got Flag coming in.
I'd bet the fucking house on the giant gypsy. Off topic, but your niggas seen there giving Cap an open workout on a Saturday. PR stunt? You taking him over your current quarterback, Moss?
It's so funny he asked this. I was taking a shit while I heard the news, and I was actually thinking, man, Daniel Dimes, bench him, get the fucking knucklehead Kaepernick. Maybe I want this kid. Kaepernick was on the 49ers. And I was actually debating it. And then I realized, what am I debating? I don't want him. So I was thinking about it, Vlad. Thank you for the donation. Shout out to Kaepernick, Mr. Ben Denis. All right, let's see what the chat says about this, and we'll move on into the next exciting story. Actually, we'll start with the next. I mean, who cares, right? What do you guys think? All right, so the point I was trying to make before that donation is, we complain as MMA fans. I noticed various chat rooms, communities, Twitter. We always complain, yet we still want to watch. We still want to see it. And even without doing this show, yes, I would watch Stipe Miocic versus Tyson Fury. So now the question is, do we keep on complaining? What do we do here? How do we fix this?
I think MMA fans are always going to complain. Honestly, if I had to be perfectly honest,
Please do.
I think that the MMA community, as much as I identify with the MMA community and I love the MMA community, I honestly think that this group of people are the biggest fucking babies I have ever met when it comes to not appreciating a fight being put together. And I'm one of them. I'm guilty. I'm guilty of doing it too. I mean, there's so many things that I complain about when it comes to the sport. But I think that's okay, because it kind of forces MMA and even boxing and all combat sports to be better than everything else.
Jesse, are you in an enchanted forest here? What's going on?
You like it?
Are you like Maleficent? Maleficent? What's her name? Innocent?
Maleficent.
Maleficent? Was it Maleficent?
Maleficent?
Melissa Fent?
Fuck! I knew it until you started saying it in a million
How do you
different
say it?
ways.
What's it? Maleficent?
Maleficent?
Is that you?
I think it's Maleficent.
Yeah.
Maleficent?
So what's your point then? So what are you trying to say then? What's the moral of the story? Besides the leaves.
I think we should just shut the fuck up and just enjoy the sport.
So you're saying make the fun.
But at the same time, I also think it's acceptable to be a bunch of complainers, because as fans, we're demanding better in the sport.
Yeah.
So
no matter what they do, this is what happens here. Maleficent?
Maleficent.
So whatever happens here, whatever they throw in front of us, we're going to consume. We're like hungry dogs. That's fight fans.
Yes.
Boxing fans are the same, man. We're all the same. We're all lumped together here. We're a bunch of hungry animals that just want to see people beat each other up.
Yeah.
That's basically what it comes down to, right? We would complain about the perfect matchups and all this bullshit, but all we want to see is two people beat each other up. That's what it comes down to.
Yes.
So when you strip it down, and now you look at the Stipe versus Fury fight, well, I think my whole opinion's just changed. Maybe I do want to see this. Right? We just came full circle on air, live. We just broke each other down. We broke down the fans. And maybe we do want to see this shit show of a fight. Maybe there's a chance that Stipe somehow has the power to put away Tyson Fury. Who knows? I still don't want to see it, Jesse, though. I'm trying to convince myself I don't want to see it. Anyway, so Logan Paul, he fought this past weekend.
Yeah.
And he's an idiot. Well, not really. He's rich. So how stupid could he be, right? I mean, he comes across as a dumb jock, right? But he's a multimillionaire. The guy is in fantastic shape. He's probably banging the hottest girls in the world. Not as hot as Jesse,
No,
of course.
he has a girlfriend. He has a long-term
Well, how
girlfriend.
do you know this?
Because I just know for some reason.
Well,
I don't know.
We just watched an interview, and he's saying that he took a break from everything.
No,
he took a
he's
break
not.
From his girlfriend
He's
too?
not. No, he's not allowed to have sex during camp.
So what is his girlfriend in some sort of fucking cave?
No, he remember during that the thing with Fuzi.
Yeah.
He said that his girlfriend sleeps in the bedroom and he has to sleep like in the living room or some shit. He can't sleep next to her because he'll like cave in, and he's not supposed to do that.
He said that? I must have missed it. I usually tune out when dopes speak, but he's not really. I'm saying he's a dope, but like I said, he's rich. So what am I gonna do? He's rich. I'm not. So he's clearly smarter than me. So now they're throwing people at him. He lost the fight this weekend versus a guy named KSI, another YouTube star. This is boxing, and we won't stay long on this because I know you don't want to hear about it, and I don't want to talk about it. But TMZ's following him around, and they're asking him questions about KSI and CM Punk, and he's basically saying that he can fight Dillon in boxing, and CM Punk, he can beat in MMA. So, Jesse, let's start off with this story, and then we're going to roll through the news and have some fun tonight. We're going to Wang Chung tonight.
Wonderful, wonderful.
There it is. But before we do that, Jesse, let's beat up the ceiling. Let's go! All right, on a Wednesday night, it's time to pump you up.
I've got 50 likes. You've got 50 likes. We've got 50 likes.
Everybody beat 'em all.
MMA-Holes 50 likes. I've got 50 likes.
You've got
50 likes. We've got 50 likes. MMA-Holes 50 likes. I've got 50 likes. You've got 50 likes. We've got 50 likes. MMA-Holes 50 likes. The dislikes can choke on a dick.
So what are we learning so far tonight?
Hashtag super necessary.
That was super necessary. What do we learn tonight so far, Jesse?
That you don't want to see Fury versus Stipe, but you do want to see it.
Yeah.
That Logan Paul doesn't have sex during camp, and that he knows how to market himself well, and that the MMA community is a bunch of crybabies, but we love it.
But more importantly than all, we learned that rich people are smart and poor people are dumb.
What? When did we say that?
Don't worry, I'm one of the dumb people. It doesn't matter. All right, so here we go. Let's get into the news. And by the way, Bare Knuckle is this weekend. Jason the Kid Knight versus
I'm just
Artem
gonna
Lobov.
a quick break since he keeps stopping the song. I'll be right back.
Where you going? Where the hell is she going? She just walked away. She left me alone with all of you. That was really weird. Hi, I'm Chris, and I'm half the host of the MMA-Holes. I'm here to entertain you, and you're here to consume it. So thank you for joining me on this wonderful ride. Why can't I talk? What's wrong with me? Too much CBD?
Wonderful, wonderful.
Anyway, Moss, handle your employees. I know. Tell me about it. Robot Vigo. It's Robot Vigo. There's so many of you. I can't keep track. Anyway, keep on liking, and we're going to beat the shit out of Sion. So, yeah, we're going to talk about Logan Paul right now. That we're going to go right into that shite. Logan Paul, you know, he's got this beef with, like, Dillon Danis. And it's just fucking retarded. I don't want to stay over here. But anyway, how many people in the chat will be watching the Bare Knuckle event happening this weekend? How many people will be watching the UFC? How many people will be watching both? But more importantly, how many people will be watching the MMA-Holes?
Wonderful, wonderful.
Let me know in the chat as we wait for Jesse to come back. Moss met CM Punk. Oh, I would love to. It'd be my dream. It's the news, faggots or not. Moss versus Brock Lesnar. Make it happen. Fook Logan Paul. Yes, mucho retardo. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Probably both. KSI won by a default slip, no touch, knockout. It was kind of stupid, right? That fight was, it was, I don't know what the fuck happened there. Some people said it was a slip. I was watching the ref it was the ref. Ref being interviewed after the fight, and he said that it was not a slip, and he explained why. You know, basically KSI was just swinging, and he says the way KSI threw that punch that hit Logan Paul, I forgot what round, the third, I think it was, something like that. The way KSI hit Logan Paul, there is no possible way you can connect legally So even when he threw that punch, as soon as he connected, he knew that was not a slip. That was an illegal shot or whatever. I don't fucking. It was a slip. Excuse me. What am I talking? What is wrong with me? I'm all fucking backwards tonight.
I
So
noticed.
it is a slip. It is a slip. What am I talking about? Anyway, that punch that went in Logan was not knocked. It wasn't a knockdown. Okay. And I apologize to absolutely no one why my head is in the clouds. But it might be the heartburn seeping into my brain and I'm dying.
Wonderful.
So it was a slip, okay, according to the ref. And it was because of that throw, that punch that KSI flinged at him all recklessly. And that was pretty much the whole fight. You know, KSI just film.
You are going to elbow me in the face one of these days.
I'm really not. But you could say I am. You could say I have full control of my body.
Look how close you get to my face.
I'm watching the replay, and I got to say this. Full control of my body.
Yeah.
I have yet to... You've hit me multiple times on this show.
When?
Name the time I've hit you.
When have I hit you on the show?
Oh, elbows flying, fist pumping, chair
I've
cranking.
never hit you on the show.
Oh, yeah. It happened. I can't name one time I hit you. So, be seated. All right. Let's get into the story over here. Let's get into the news.
Wonderful.
God. According to MMA...
Wait, you didn't say it.
I'm not going to keep saying it. It's so annoying.
Wait, what's annoying?
I don't want to say it.
Well, what's annoying?
I'm not saying it.
What?
You're just trying to get me to say it.
Say what?
I'm not saying it. I'm not saying it anymore.
It's the news.
Gaylord.
All right. According to MMA NYTT or TMZ Sports, actually covered this one, Logan Paul challenges Dillon Danis, saying, "Dillon, you're a fucking pussy." Logan Paul isn't done with combat sports. In fact, he plans on continuing with it. The Pro Rules boxing rematch between Paul and YouTube rival KSI ended in a controversial loss for Paul after being deducted 2 points. Despite this, Paul has stated on multiple times that he's passionate about MMA and would like to compete in it. TMZ caught up with Paul, asking him about his thoughts on the rematch with KSI, amongst other things. Paul was also asked about keeping or competing in MMA, which he would want to do. He was then asked about CM Punk. He said, quote, "I am open to fighting CM Punk. I think I would destroy CM Punk if I'm being honest. I don't know if anyone would disagree with that. He lost all his UFC fights. I know I can take him." However, Paul was quick to say that his foray into MMA isn't about CM Punk. He was then asked about an antagonist, Dillon Danis, who's been feuding with the Paul brothers over Twitter. He said, quote, "To be honest with you, I'd fight Dillon any day. Dillon, you're a fucking pussy. You're a lot of talk and no one in the MMA community likes you. You got a few Twitter followers who are on your dick and that's it. I can assure you, if you came over to the YouTube space, we'd fuck you up, specifically me." However, Paul admits that Danis, who is merited and experienced BJJ practitioner, would have a clear advantage on the ground. That's why Paul would much rather face Danis in the boxing ring, saying, quote, "I'd probably box the guy. His BJJ game is too good for me to try and roll with him. But boxing, bro, MMA guys, we sparred a lot of them training for KSI because of the wild punches. I would love to box Dillon Danis, but do the fans want to see me box Dillon? Does Dillon put people in seats? Who the fuck is Dillon Danis? He's Conor McGregor's friend and he's a punk-ass kid who chirps on Twitter. He's got fat thumbs," Paul said.
He's got fat thumbs?
Yes.
Does that mean his thumbs are muscular from clicking on his phone?
Yes.
Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Wonderful.
So, a couple of things. At least he gave credit to Danis's ground game, you know, because you got to think Logan has no shot in anything that has to do with going to the mat, you know. The jits by Danis would be just too much for Logan Paul. And after watching Logan box, especially that last one, woof. I kind of think Danis would beat him on the feet too. I mean, I don't think Logan Paul really is. I mean, I don't know. I think he has a better shot against CM Punk. You know, I think if a fight was going to happen, I think he has a better shot against CM Punk. But it doesn't look like CM Punk's ever getting back into a cage. Now he's signed with the WWE. He's doing some broadcasting, announcing shit. Why are you flexing? Do you know why?
My tummy hurts. Like, I feel nauseous.
You want me just to stop the show and talk about your tummy? Yeah? You gotta take a shit or what? What's going on?
No, I feel nauseous.
Well, sometimes you gotta take a shit
You
when
don't
you're
have to
nauseous.
take a shit when you're nauseous.
I've done it.
You feel like you have to puke when you're nauseous.
Well, hopefully your tummy gets better. So what do you think? Logan Paul has a meeting with DAZN, right? And we're gonna move on real quick from this because I can't. My brain is fried just even thinking about this. He's going, but you have to acknowledge the fact that 2 YouTube stars fucking made a shitload of money for DAZN. It was probably one of the biggest events that DAZN ever had. You know, it put DAZN on the map. So now they're going to sit with him and say, "Oh, great, Logan, you lost that fight. That's great. Who you want to fight next? How are we going to do this?" So what would you say? What would you piece together?
I don't care.
You don't care, huh?
I don't care.
No?
No.
But would you watch it?
No.
Yes, you would.
Honestly, if it wasn't for this show, probably not. That's one that I probably would give 2 fucks about.
Okay.
So, because of this show, yes. But if this show never existed, I don't care.
You're probably right. Now I'm thinking about it. In most cases, circus fights, I would still watch off air. Logan Paul versus KSI, you're
Don't
right.
care.
The first time I wouldn't have watched it.
Yep. Don't care. Don't give a fuck.
And we watched it the second time. Now, I had a little bit more interest the second time because it was a pro fight. No, head protection, 10-ounce gloves. It had a little bit more interest to me. And the fact that they had it in the Staples Center and it was on DAZN and it was this whole thing. I had a little interest. I have to say the second fight I probably would have watched on my own. And we have DAZN, so it's free for us. Right? So I probably would have watched that. But no, I wouldn't have watched the first one. And if I wouldn't have watched the first one, maybe I wouldn't have watched the second. Because I didn't really know what happened.
You wouldn't have given a shit about it.
I don't know. I can't say the second, but I know for sure the first I would have watched.
I know you, and I know you would not give a fuck.
Okay.
You'd be like, You'd probably try watching it. I think you're the kind of person who, as a combat sports fan, would try watching it, get about 5 or 10 minutes in, and be like, fuck this, and just bounce. Yeah,
well, I wouldn't have gotten through the undercard. I know that. Because boxing, I need more. And I feel the problem with boxing is the undercard. It's so, like, I don't know who any of these people are. And nor do I care, you know. And we were talking about this earlier. Like, at least the UFC, the way they have their cards, like, you kind of are interested in pre-prelim fights.
Yeah.
In boxing, like, the undercards, like, whether it's the co-main event or, 3 fights from the top, you have some sort of thing, maybe. But most of the time, no. I have no idea what the fuck's going on. With MMA, there's more juice to it. Mm-hmm. And even with bare knuckle this weekend, we got felony Charles Bennett. We got our boy Caleb Harris. We got Lobob versus Knife. Fun. We have Chase Sherman. Chase Sherman's fighting again, the champ, the heavyweight champ, former UFC fighter. I give a shit. What's up with boxing? We need Logan Paul. Vlad?
Only YouTubers, incels with gaming in their username and 12-year-olds are fans of Logan Paul. As bad as we think Danis is, he'd run through Logan. KSI beat him based off his blackness alone.
Yeah, it's true. He was too black. KSI uber black and just destroyed him. The whiteness of Logan just... It couldn't hold up. I agree. It was too white. Logan Paul all shredded up. All that muscle for nothing.
Yeah.
It's just a waste of muscle.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway. So I think I'm going to move on now. I had enough.
Yeah.
Right? I've had enough. Thank you, Vlad, for the donation. And if anyone wants to donate, there's a link down below in the super chat. You can do that as well. All right, let's move on because I can't anymore. I can't even entertain this. And like I said, I'm going to be talking about this a lot on Friday's show. Now, fight briefing. Will you talk about bare knuckle in fight briefing? I know you haven't done that yet. You haven't gone outside of the UFC.
Yeah.
But we got some juice on bare knuckle.
I don't want to promise anything. Oh shit. I still have to finish my stuff for tomorrow for UFC. I'll put it this way: if I can squeeze in some time, then maybe yes, I'll do BKFC. But I'm not promising. It all depends on how long it takes me to get the UFC done.
Okay. And Supra Insane coming in.
Logan is more black than KSI will ever be.
Is that true? I mean, I haven't really listened to either of them talk. But I mean, visually, KSI he's a lot blacker. But maybe Logan Paul is pretty black. I don't know. I really don't know much about them, so. I tried to catch up before the fight. And it was very difficult for me to do. I'm just like, how are these people? How are they so rich? That's all I could think about. I'm like, well, why are they so rich? Anyway, this is the UFC card this weekend. Blachowicz versus Jacare. I like the fight. I really do. Jacare Souza versus Jan Blachowicz. I think it's a really fun one. Shogun's back against Paul Craig. That's cool. Oliveira's back against Jared Gordon. So the top three, not bad. Arroyo versus Muniz. And we got Perez versus Turman. So Marcus Perez versus Wellington Turman. Now, you look at the top of the card, you can pull some cool stuff out of here. But is this like really lighting you on fire? No, it's not.
Well, it's still a great fight.
Some good fights on here. Yeah, there is some good fights on here. But when it comes to this versus bare knuckle, I am so much more interested in bare knuckle. It's not even funny.
Yeah, but you've got to at least be slightly more interested in this card than you were last weekend.
What do you mean by that?
Last weekend, you weren't the least bit interested in the fights.
No, I don't know what it is. Like, if you look at Shogun versus Paul Craig, that should be good. It should be. Shogun is not completely dead yet.
Oliveira and Jared Gordon is going to be good.
That's good, too. That's good stuff. Oliveira's a beast. He's on some run right now. And Jared Gordon is not on some run. But he's off a win. There we go. It's a unanimous decision. Doesn't look really good for Mr. Gordon in this fight. But who knows, right? It's interesting. But the card itself, I mean, no. Honestly.
I find it fascinating that you say that. Because you were saying the same thing about last week's card. And this card, it's not a stacked card, you're right. But it does have some more name value to it than last week. You know, and I don't know. I just find that a little fascinating.
Let's see. What bare knuckle are we at? So if you're not into bare knuckle, we're going to force feed. You know what? Bare knuckle should they should reach out to us. I mean, we have their fighters on. We're a big fan of this.
Wrong one.
This is one, right? Where's two? How do you see two? BKFC, right? BKFC. And I love the clinch with the boxing. I love the small little ring. I love the fact that they throw names on here that we are familiar with. And speaking of Jason Knight, who was on the show, great guy. A video just surfaced, and it's kind of convenient how it surfaced, of him fighting in a porta potty or something. Not a porta potty, in the stall, bathroom stall or some shit, right?
Mm-hmm.
Against two guys. It was hysterical.
And he came out still standing.
It's great. But no, they don't have the whole card here.
No.
Here's the problem. Here's the problem with bare knuckle. Let's see. Was it BKFC what? What are we at?
9.
All right. BKFC 9 fight card. Okay, let's try that. See if that works. You can't find their fight card, even on their website. What bare knuckle, what are we doing? Bare knuckle still a logo? Yeah, they have a knuckle on it. I'm suing. Let's see. Do you see fight card over here in my events? What are we doing? Okay.
Fight card coming soon.
What the fuck? What are they doing?
Click it.
Yeah, I clicked on it. It's not there. That's a problem. Their website is shite. Their product is fun.
Maybe he hasn't. Maybe he hasn't hired a marketer, or not a marketer, a website engineer.
Let me see if someone else has this thing. What's going on? What are we doing here? Like, what the fuck? Like, how dumb is this?
I do agree.
The event's this weekend.
Yeah, for an organization that is growing as fast as BKFC is, you would expect that they're at least on top of their fight card. Of all things, their fight card.
The great Yash in the chat said, just rewatched Lobov versus Knight. What a great fucking fight. It was fantastic. Don't watch that polymyalgiology bullshit with Artem. Don't even bother. If you're going to go back and bare knuckle, just skip that fight. Watch Knight Lobov 1. Fire. Absolute. I mean, Jason Knight's teeth were falling out in that thing. Yeah, they don't have it on it.
No, someone said go to the bottom. I'm thinking they meant on...
Bottom of what? Bare Knuckles website? I didn't see it. Why can Tony Ferguson fight Khabib? Why can? He should, and I think he will. The Night Bathroom. Yeah, we got to find that video too. Can someone do me a favor? On the MMA-Holes.com, they pulled the video of Jason Knight fighting in the bathroom stall. I wanted to show it on air. If someone could pull that, I know Kainoto put it up. I'll look on the website again. It's not here, Jess. I'm telling you, you don't have to trust me on this one. It's not
Boss, will you stop micromanaging me and just let me look?
Fight coming soon. What do you can't read? It's right in front of you. Fight card coming soon.
I want to fucking strangle you.
Go ahead, make my day.
You don't have to be such a jerk all the time. Sometimes some people find things that you don't find. In this case, I did not. But
all right. So I was right. So
you were right.
It's on YouTube. Yeah. Is it on YouTube? Let me see. Let me look it up. Let me see if I can. What the fuck? A piece of my beard was in my teeth.
You deserve it.
The hell is that about?
Karma.
All right. Let's see. Jason Knight. Bathroom fight. This shit's all over the place. So the person who put it on. Is this it? What the fuck? All right, here we go. This guy, it says you can't fucking see it.
No, it's the beginning part of the video.
Yeah, but you can't see how it's clipped. You can't really see it. He chopped it up, so it's like, it's supposed to be, what a dick. What a douchenheimer. Oh, here we go. Let's see. I think I got it here. All right, boys. I got it. All right, we're going to zoom into this shit. Like so. All right, so this was taken off the interwebs, but thank God for YouTube. I don't know how well you're going to be able to see this, but here is Jason Knight, and he is just throwing down with two guys in a turlet. Hold on. Let's go like this. Now, to the people listening on Podbean and iTunes, we're going to describe this as best as we can. But, Jesse, you want to explain it to the peoples?
What's going on?
No. Yeah, what's going on? Yeah. All right, hold on. Here we go. All right. There we go. Nice. All right. Here we go. So let's move back. All right. So Jason, it looked like he was in some sort of bar or club or some shit. I don't know where he was, how this happened, but it looked like one of the guys said something to him, and then it was just a free-for-all. I don't know what they said. Maybe something about like Geico car insurance or some shit. Look at this. They're just fucking throwing away. Jason has one guy in a blue shirt that holding him like wrapped around the shoulder, and another guy in a whitish gray shirt like throwing punches. And somehow Knight's winning this fight. Look at this. Now the guy with the white shirt was throwing a couple of lefts. That did land on the face of Jason, but Jason coming in with some hooks. Here comes Jason, the rights, over and over and over again. Bare knuckle bathroom fights. Now I think bare knuckle should really up the ante and make bare knuckle bathroom fights. Jesse, what do you think?
Chrome T Dome says Jason said something about the guy's girl is what started it.
Now, this is Chrome T Dome. Do you think he's just
I would believe it.
I mean,
I'm sure there was some sort of antagonizing going on.
Jason Knight is he's a God-loving man. There we go. Jason is fighting these two men. Which guy's girlfriend? I mean, now one guy has his left hand on Jason's neck, and the other guy has his left hand like on his face, like mushing him. And Jason's still fighting these guys off. Look at this shit. All right, and this is combat sports coverage. It's crazy. Sean, thank you, man. Sean sent the video. Appreciate it. Sean's a good guy. Anyway, that was pretty much it. So what do you guys think? I mean, that's nuts, right?
I love it. I think it's awesome. I think it's badass. And it's the perfect thing to be released right before his bare knuckle fight.
Convenient, right?
Yeah. Hey, listen, it kind of shows that this guy means business, you know? Like, he's been there before. He knows what to take and what to give. So I think it's cool. I think that was a good move by his friend.
It is bizarre, though. Like, I've been in the only time I've been in, any sort of altercation. I mean, there was one on the street, but that was I lost that one bad to two gentlemen. It was a 2-on-1 too. 2-on-1 never works out well for the one, but in this case, I wish I was as tough as Jason Knight, because he actually made it look good. Like, he fucking hung in there. I didn't. My shirt was ripped off, and I got the shit kicked out of me. But look at this. Like, he's hanging. He's holding his own. How does this happen, Jesse?
Because Jason Knight is more of a badass than you, Moss.
I mean, we know that, but how does a fight like this go down?
Well, usually it starts with the one person. Because isn't that situation with you? You're the one who said something to get them to all riled up and to start fighting you, right? So I'm sure it's the one person who says something to make the other two get a little triggered.
I think Jason Knight has mutant strength. Because, I mean, how the fuck are these two guys? Like, they can't nullify Knight's power here. Look at him. They can't hold him down. He's like super strong. That's a bare knuckle boxer right there. It's crazy. I could watch that all day. It's such a bizarre situation. And I noticed a couple of people in the chat were saying something about, or was it Two Joints was saying something. What about the cameraman? Why didn't he step in? Fuck that.
Actually, there were like 3 people with phones.
Actually, you know what? Who am I talking about? See, that's the weird part with this day and age. When I was a kid, there was no one filming. Like, when there was a fight, we'd all jump in. It wasn't
as readily available when you were fighting. Because if you think about it as, I hate to say this, Moss, but you're a little old.
Yeah, maybe I'm a dinosaur.
So now everybody has a smartphone and constantly in their hand. Someone always has a smartphone in their hand.
Two Joints makes a good point, though. Anytime there was a fight in my vicinity, I remember I was with V-Neck. We were in the city, and we're driving. We're in traffic, and this kid was getting the shit kicked out of him. And me and Mike got out of the car. I told him, pull the fucking car over. I didn't know who the fuck these people were, and we stopped the fight. Like, we stopped in the middle of traffic, and we stopped. Now,
why would you?
It was fucking stupid as all hell.
Yeah, why would you get involved in that?
It was so dumb, but we stopped it. We stopped the fight. We got in there. We're like, what the? He was getting kicked in the head, this guy. And his girlfriend was yelling, stop, stop, stop. And these 2 guys were kicking the shit out of him. Now, it was, in hindsight, it's a dumb move.
Yeah.
It's a really dumb move by me. But I was a superhero for a night.
Yeah. It's like, let me just go fix this situation real quick.
It was so dumb. And when we got back in the car, I looked at Mike and I was just like, what the fuck were we thinking there? Like, because there was a part where they were all pleading their case to us, right? And I'm saying to myself, these 2 could fuck us up, right? Yeah. Like, now in the whole altercation, I'm standing there and I'm like,
they were pleading their case.
They started pleading both sides. They were like, no, he did this and this. I'm like, I don't give a fuck. I'm like, stop kicking him in the fucking head.
What was their reason for beating the fuck out of him?
I wasn't listening, to be honest. All I was thinking is like, holy shit, we're gonna get jumped now. Like, that's what I was thinking. Somehow we got out of it. We got back in the car. They stopped kicking the guy in the head. It was all over and done with. It was bizarre. It was a bizarre situation. I wouldn't recommend anyone do that. But we, in hindsight, looking back and when we got in the car afterwards, we were like, that was really stupid. But the point I'm trying to make is anytime something happens in front of me, and even when I was younger, you try to diffuse the situation. Especially if there's 2-on-1. You would, you're a girl. You're a girl, you're not going to jump in. But any logical guy wants to say, hey, the fucking guy's getting jumped by 2 dudes. You know, you get in, you break it up. This guy is holding his fucking phone over him like, hey, look at me. What kind of world do we live in now? What is that? Well, what is this the society we live in where one guy's getting jumped by 2 dudes and you fucking got a cell phone out videotaping this shit? Let me sell this to TMZ. No, you stop the fight. What's going on? Now, if it's a fair fight between 2 guys just going at it, let them go. But if there's one guy getting jumped by 2, you stop that thing. Am I crazy for thinking this? Am I nuts? What would you do if I tried to stop a fight?
I don't know. That's a good question.
You'd help me stop it.
If
I just get over here and get my ass kicked.
If it was 2-on-1 and we ended up just as passerbys and you said pull over.
No, I'd probably leave you in the car. Is probably what I would do.
Well, I wouldn't stay in the car, especially if I knew that you were going over there.
See, that's a dumb girl move.
Yeah, that is a dumb girl move, but
girls don't do that.
But that's just the way I am.
No, you can't.
Yeah, you can call me an idiot all you want, and it probably is.
Yeah, girls
being an idiot following you. But like that, I'm not gonna fucking sit there. I'm not gonna sit there and have you go up to 2 men beating up another man.
I think in that situation, because you've never been in a situation. I think in that situation it's so intense that I think you would be like, all right, yeah, you got it. Like, I think you would. And now if you see me getting beat up, I think you would get out.
You know what I would do? I'd probably try to talk you out of it at first. But no, I know you, and I know you're not gonna listen, and you're gonna get out and do it anyways. Yeah. So I would call the cops.
Well, hopefully we don't have that situation come up. But I mean, it is funny, like what Two Joints says. I mean, this situation here, like you're watching this and you got some knuckle. Now, maybe the guy filming, I'm saying filming, like it's a VHS camera.
Wonderful.
Recording, maybe that guy was, one of the boys of the 2 guys beating on Jason. Maybe that's what the situation was. Then it makes sense. It's like, yo, look at my 2 boys beating up Jason Knight. Let me record this shit. That might be the situation. Then it makes sense. But if you're just a guy taking a piss and you turn around, this shit's going down. Don't you stop it? Now, if you jump it in, this is Jason Knight. He's fighting. Former UFC fighter, was on the show. Great guy. I say that after we watch him fighting in the bathroom. He's fighting Artem Lobov. Main event this Saturday. Let's see what the chat says about this. I'm curious.
Now you got me thinking, what would I do in a situation like that,
No.
I've never really thought about it of what I would do. Like, because if you really think about, like, my brothers and my dad, like, being in a military family, they would no hesitation jump in and help the guy. No hesitation. And I think they would, like, expect me to have the same kind of balls. But
no, they wouldn't. They would tell you to stay back.
No, but, well, they would. Yeah, for sure. They would. But at the same time, like, I don't know. Like, I've never really thought about if something like that were to occur. I would call the cops, probably. I would just call the fucking cops.
That's a smart move. But, I mean, you don't know unless you're in that situation. Like I said, when this happened to me, I mean, thankfully, I wasn't the one getting beaten up. But there's, like, this thing that goes off, you know? I'm the type of guy that when I hear
I think that happens with all guys, though. I think guys have a natural fight instinct or protective instinct.
But I can't fight. You know, it's not like.
But it doesn't matter. Like, I think guys
I can't
have a natural instinct to protect. That's what men were put on the planet to do.
But why protect another guy?
But no, it's not like that. It's just to protect a life. Like, to protect
like,
life.
Shit, that could be me in that situation.
Yeah,
I would hope someone would stop.
Yeah, it's not as nurturing as women. I think men are physically want to protect. You know, like.
Robot Vigo has Vigo has a great question. It says, JBH, should you carry around some nunchucks? You should carry around some nunchucks.
Yeah, I'll get right on that.
Yeah. But it's kind of funny. What would you guys do in this situation? Like, if you saw this, would you whip out the camera? Don't be that guy to whip out the camera. Help him. But, like, what are you doing?
There were like 3 or 4 guys with cameras, though. If you see the beginning of the video, and then the staff steps in and breaks it up. They're at the end of the video, but it's cut off on here. At the end of the original video, staff stepped in and cut and broke it up.
And then you got this guy, Brian Galvin. Guy, what is her Instagram? Straight up perv in the chat. In the middle of this whole conversation, you got a fucking pervert in there. Oh, I want to jerk off to her Instagram. Can you stop talking and just let me know where it is?
It's at the MMA-Holes.
Yeah, you can jerk off there. All right, let's see what the chat has to say. The fuck? This is our audience. Like, I mean, what is going on?
Yeah. T. Glennon says, rear naked choke and a light squeeze. Sean Hart, unless I know him, I would let it go. Chrome T. Dome says, the dude Connor hit was in his 40s. He wasn't a senior citizen. Kung Fu Hamster says, I'd mind my own business, but not record. Vlad says, get the story first. What if the dude's a pedo or rapist? Then you can't, or then you can just join in on the ass whooping.
That's true. Hey, hey, buddy. Hey, buddy over there. You, listen, I want to help you out, but, you ever rape any kids? Do you rape kids? Are you beaten up because you rape kids? Excuse me, buddy. It's not a bad idea. Maybe we should ask.
Why do guys get, like, what? Can I just ask a question? Since we have a chat room full of men.
Yeah.
Why do guys, I understand the testosterone and everything, you know, like, you get all riled up in situations, but why fight? Like, why do you, what is it that possesses you guys that makes you feel like you have to throw fists? And, like, I never understood that. Isn't there a more mature way to handle a situation?
No.
If you disagree with someone, you both just let it go and walk away. Like, why, like, like, I'm not saying it's wrong. I'm just wondering what possesses you guys to make you want to fucking swing at each other.
It's very simple. It's very, very simple. Women have feelings. Guys don't have feelings. So this is how this works. If you have an altercation, if you're at a bar and someone looks at you the wrong way or rubs against your girl or says something inappropriate, you fucking punch them.
No,
right?
you don't.
No, but listen,
why don't you just...
Can I just explain? You asked me a question.
No, yeah,
I'm going to explain.
Yeah.
You punch the guy. You get it out of your system. You get into a fight. You roll around on the ground. You get it over with. And then that's it. You're good.
What if the guy has a knife and you don't know it?
No, but here's the deal. In most situations, you get into a fight with someone. Anytime I was at a bar and there was an altercation or anything like that, there have been times where they would share a drink afterwards, or they would just get kicked out and go amongst their business, and that's it. It's like you resolve it and you move on. That's it. Girls have to plot, and then they have to fucking backstab them and then fuck their boyfriend and shit like that and play all these games.
No,
like,
it doesn't work that way.
Guys, they fight, they get over it. I have friends. I've had friends physically fight each other. Good friends.
Yeah,
and now
that's
they're
what
friends
I don't
again.
get.
I've had friends that I couldn't fucking stand, that we were like super close to going to blows.
Yeah.
And we're good. You get it out of your system and you move on.
But that's what I'm asking. What is there to get out of your system? Like, why can't you just walk away and breathe and get it out of your system that way? Like, what is there to get out of your system? There's nothing there. It's non-existent. Whatever's in your system is not actually there. Like, you can walk away.
Do you know that like 90% of fights that guys get into are because of girls?
That's because you guys are idiots.
No, it's because girls don't know when to shut up.
What do girls do that cause a guy to fight?
I would say majority of the fights that I got into when I was a kid, right? Or any brawls that broke out in
It's because
bars.
you were trying to show off to a
No,
female.
it was because females either, oh, that guy's looking at me wrong.
And
oh.
you wanted to show
and it's like,
off
all right.
and be all manly.
No, it's not even, yeah, maybe.
Yes, exactly.
But if
So
they
it's your
just
fault.
shut their fucking mouth, there'd be no fights.
No, it's your fault. You can't do that.
According to the last episode of Seinfeld, if some dude is getting his ass whooped by a group of people and you don't help out, you go to fucking jail. It's the world we live in now. Cops are so
Crazy.
incompetent that now they want civilians to help.
Well, I mean, I wouldn't go that far. I have friends that are cops that are the first one involved in that shit. Maybe around you, cops are different. And there's some bad cops over here too, but I have friends and family that, like, I would go out with a bunch of cop friends, and I was the only one that's not a cop, hence the only pussy in the group. And, you know, the minute a fight happens, like, they want to be the first ones in that.
Yeah, listen, I can't judge. My dad, my brothers, they've all been there. Like, and my brothers are still there, you know? So I can't judge. Like, I've witnessed it. So it would be wrong of me to be like, oh, it's wrong for you guys to get into fights.
But I'm not black. So, I mean, it could be different.
Doesn't mean anything. There's
If I was
always,
black, I might think differently. I don't know.
There's always that question in your head, and I think it's mostly in females' heads of, why can't you just walk away? Right? Like, maybe this is just in my head. Like, I don't understand the violence. Like,
Yeah, but how
why?
many bar fights have you been in?
None. No.
Exactly.
But
So-
I don't go to bars.
Yeah.
See, I'm smart. I'm a very smart woman. I don't go to bars, and I certainly would never go with a boyfriend.
Well, here's the thing. That's what I'm saying, though. Like, you'll understand it more, and it's not understandable because it is a ridiculous thing getting into a fight with a complete stranger for a dumb reason. It's stupid. But anyway, I mean, we're all over the place here. You know, there's always a reason for stupidity, right? There's always something. Something happened. Something happened here on Jason Knight. Well, I think he held his own. Now, this was a little while ago, right? This wasn't before this fight. I don't know when this took place, but I thought it was fight week, and I'm like, this motherfucker's getting into this fight. It just conveniently gets leaked before his fight with Artem Lobov. So, I mean, it's got to sell some tickets, right? Who do you think's going to win, Artem or Jason? Think about it.
You can't stop the Siberian Express. Choo-choo, motherfuckers.
I actually like that people record this now. It's free entertainment. I watched a Canadian leave a club once and knock two guys out, then proceeded to soccer kick one of the guy's head and run his pockets. It was awesome.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, how would we, if we didn't have the people the cowards that don't jump in and help, we would never get this type of stuff, right? So I guess the guy that was recording this is a hero.
Well, you got to think too. Like, everyone's talking about why pull out your camera, but isn't it a good thing? Because God forbid someone dies, you have it on camera who killed who.
Listen, I've seen a million fights. No one died. No one died for the fight.
Like, these days, people carry weapons. You'd be surprised.
You're saying these days, like, there was no weapons. When I got the shit kicked out of me, there was a weapon, and the knife went right into my tire. And thank God, not me. It went into my tire. They were
so
just.
You could have died.
I could have, but I didn't.
CBD.
You know.
CBD. CBD.
Roberto.
CBD. 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 CBD.
CBD.
CBD. CBD. CBD. CBD. CBD. It helps with healing process and inflammation and stuff like that. So you wanted to get these for before, after the fights, training, and make your life a better place.
He is Roberto.
Jail or prison will humble tough guys. It's best to stay out of trouble and avoid problems. For every bad mofo, there is always someone better.
That's what my dad says.
It's true.
My dad says the same thing. There's always someone stronger. There's always someone better. There's always someone faster. Like, he always says things like that.
I would never survive in jail. I'd be like the hottest commodity in there. I would be the girl. I'd be the one they all lock the doors with, and but I'm hairy. So I don't know if guys like that, you know? That maybe my hairiness can help me in that situation. You know?
You can't stop the Siberian Express. Choo-choo,
He's too hairy to Gaylord.
Gaylord.
This dude hit on a girl at a bar. Small guy and her boyfriend happened to be nearby. He was a giant dude necked to the whole nine. Him and his friends pushed him outside. He didn't want to fight, so he got naked, and the big dude said, "You're gay," and ran.
You know, I've heard that before. There's a thing I used to do when I was younger. I don't know if it works now, but I would do the crazy guy. Like, I would do the fucking psychotic. When I knew I was in over my head, I would just start screaming, like, what the fuck? Like a lunatic. Like, look like I'm completely deranged, and it would work.
Yeah, no, it's funny that you mentioned that because there's a YouTuber out there who goes to, like, random strangers, and he'll start picking a fight. Like, he'll say something to piss someone off, and when he catches someone and the guy starts coming back all aggressive, he starts stripping and taking off his clothes, and usually underneath he has like a man, like a G-string or something like that on, and he starts running towards them, and the guy will actually run away, and it avoids all fights.
Do you believe YouTube though?
No, but it's funny because it makes the point. Like, if you do something outlandish like that, chances are it ends the fight pretty quick.
I would say that it would help you in the situation.
Just start stripping.
Or start kissing the guy, like start kissing his neck. Start smooching on the guy. Why not? Stop blowing
What do girls do to get guys in trouble? Holy shit. You haven't been out much with that statement, JBH.
No.
Moss can attest to how drunken women have got their boyfriends and guy friends into fights.
It's true.
They mouth off to guys and you're automatically in it.
Yep.
Yeah, well, you're right, Vlad. Yeah, I wouldn't know. I did my best. Like, the moment I was old enough to go out, the moment I was old enough to drink, I always did my best to stay far away from people. I didn't want to be around anybody. So I never went to the parties. I never went to the bars. So when I hear people say, oh, it's the girl's fault, I genuinely don't understand it because I was never there. I never did it.
Yeah. Well, you know what's going to happen because you've never done it. You're going to be like 50 years old.
Out in like Cougar Town.
And you're just going to go to a bar one day and you're just going to get it out of your system. Like, what are you doing? You're 50.
You know what? I have no desire to get it out. I have absolutely zero desire to go to a bar and get it out of my system.
Well, listen, timestamp that because there's going to be a show where I'm like, well, guess what Jesse did? And I'm showing up with a big black eye and my nose on the other side of my head. Anyway, so that's that. I don't know how we got on this, but...
Well, everyone seems to be interested in it, so I guess it was worth it. It was a conversation that was worth it.
I had MS tried to kill me. I had to draw it down, but I lived. Man, I tell you what, Jeremiah, I watched your last video, by the way. This guy's, he's been there. He's been to hell and back. Like, you listen to Jeremiah's stories, and I saw you said something about cops, too. Listen, I can't kill cops because I've had my situations. My brother got into a situation where the gun was thrown into his head. He was completely... they didn't even know the situation. They just assumed my brother had a weapon. They dragged him out of his car. And he was a kid. He just started driving. He was just wrong place, wrong time. Didn't do anything wrong. Chained to a fucking radiator and grilled for something he didn't even do. So, you know, I've seen cops that were complete assholes in situations. But I can't put all cops in one thing. You have your bad seeds in everything, you know?
Yeah, for
so
sure.
I can't kill cops. I mean... You have your bad apples in every race. You have your bad apples in every job. You know, it happens. Unfortunately, that job, they have a gun and authority.
Yeah.
So it just looks worse.
Yeah.
You know?
No,
and they kill a couple of black people here and there. You know, it fucks everything up.
Jesus Christ.
I don't know. You see stupid shit go on with anything, and I don't want to lump everyone into one category. But Jeremiah, he's been in some shit.
You know what? I bet a lot of people in this chat have.
Yeah.
Guaranteed. I bet there's a lot of people in this chat who don't talk about it.
Oh, you're talking about gangs? All right. We got super insane.
No one should ever fight. If you start it, I'll get wrecked.
I agree.
Hold on. If you start, you'll get wrecked?
If you start it, you'll get wrecked.
Now, that's true, but I've been lucky. When I was younger, I had a mouth. Like, and I would start.
You still have a mouth.
In situations. No, but I don't really start much now, right? I mean,
right.
I won't.
But
I don't put myself in those situations.
But if we're going by your logic, I've never done anything to put you in that situation.
That's true. Yeah, I gotta keep Jesse chained to the radiator.
But you do have a mouth.
Am I racist? I only don't like people named Joey. I'm racist against people. Oh shit, his name is Joey Owens. I'm fucking racist against you. Anyway, let's move on. Move on. What do we got on this whole tangent?
I see people in the chat. They're like, "Oh, good topic." Love it.
Like, you going?
Well, no. I mean, listen. We'll move on. It's just I think we finally found something that like struck everyone's nerve, and it's like, well, let's just keep talking about it.
I like a good topic.
Yeah, but we can move on if you want to move on.
We can thank Jason Knight. Yeah. So who wins, Jason Knight or Artem Lobov this weekend?
I would say Jason Knight might get this one.
Really?
It was a close fight, the last one, but I do agree that Artem Lobov won. But I think Jason has some tricks up his sleeve, and he's learned from the last fight, and I think that he'll have more tools to work with.
What do you guys think?
Saturday.
In the chat, Knight or Lobov? I'm rooting for Knight. I can tell you that much.
Let's see. Sean Hart says, Moss, you should have put a fork in that guy in the hoodie at Hooters.
I should put
in the hoodie. Oh, the guy.
Yeah, what do you think about that?
So it's funny, Moss. When you left to go to the bathroom, I wish we never deleted the stream because everyone was my witness. They all saw it. Like, I was not going crazy. The guy was legit being a creeper. And you left me alone. And it was like the most uncomfortable situation in the world. So I had to use the chat as my shield, as like my protection.
Yeah, but what you were doing there is...
Because I figured if I was looking at the phone and I looked like I was busy doing something, then maybe like it would kind of gear his attention away.
But, okay. If I'm somewhere and someone's staring at me, right? And it doesn't happen much because I'm hideous. But if I was somewhere and someone's staring at me, I'm not going to be like, oh my God, they're staring at me. Like, that there makes the guy believe that you're interested in them.
No, I never looked at him.
Yeah, I mean, you probably were giving off vibes.
Nope.
And he was just like, oh.
So this is why I wish we kept
Well,
it straight.
to him, I'm saying. I'm not saying you were, but.
I had the phone angled in a way where it was kind of on him, but like he didn't notice the phone. He only noticed me, but I was only able to see him through the phone. I never once looked at him.
This is a perfect situation. Now, you mentioned it to me while we were there at Hooters, right?
Yes.
Okay. Now, what did you want me to do? Like
no, I
a
didn't
guy.
No. I didn't want you to do anything.
But a normal guy, and if I was younger, I probably would have done something sarcastic.
But no.
Or I probably would have turned around and stared at him.
Here's where I figured it out.
Yeah.
And now I get it. I understand where the miscommunication is between men and women and why
no, it's
fights
not
start.
miscommunication.
No, I get it now.
It's women try to rile us up.
No. So I get it. So I told you because I was uncomfortable. And I wanted you to be aware that I was uncomfortable so that you would not leave. But you ended up leaving, right? So a lot of times I think women might tell men, oh, this guy's doing something because they feel unsafe and uncomfortable and they want their man to be there and not leave them.
Wait. What did you think the guy was going to do at Hooters?
But see...
Why are you unsafe? There's people all over the place.
I feel unsafe in a lot of situations.
So what was he going to do? Stab you in the middle of Hooters?
No, it's not that. It's just, it's like, it's hard to explain, but as a female, like, it's easy to feel unsafe when there's a guy creeping. Like,
let me ask you a question.
I'm not trying to be unreasonable here.
I know. You're in a public restaurant, right?
Yes.
And you're sitting there, and some person across the way is staring at you. Now, I could see you feeling awkward, but why would you feel unsafe?
I feel unsafe in a lot of situations.
Hence why men fight. There you go. To make you feel safe. Pulse Reloaded.
Chrissy 5 Butch Dykes jump you. Would you fight back? Or just acquiesce and allow them to pound you? Also, the term crooked cops is oxymoronic.
Yeah.
All cops will be crooked if given the opportunity. But yay, you versus 5 Butch carpet munchers ends how?
Well, it's funny you say that. We went to my friend's birthday, and there was kids all over the place. And I got cornered by, how many kids were there? 6?
Yeah, it was like 5 or 6.
Yeah, let's say 6. Makes
Small children, like waist high.
6-year-old, a couple of 6-year-olds, a fucking, I don't know how old, maybe a 10-year-old. How old's Emma? I don't even know. Anyway, there was a variety of children, 6 of them, and they all were grabbing me, right? Not inappropriately. They were grabbing my legs, holding onto my legs, and kept me in one place. And I said to myself, as these 6 kids were holding me in one spot, I was like, holy fuck, if you had like 20 of these kids, you're not winning. The 20 kids would beat you.
Yes.
And I had a real reality, maybe even 10, you know? Like if I wanted to fight 10 kids.
Why would you be fighting kids?
You'd think you automatically win, right? I'm 5'9", 175. I really don't have many fighting skills. I just love MMA and I love the sport. But if 10 kids attacked me, like say if they had rabies or something like that, or if they were zombies, right?
Right.
And they were grabbing onto my legs as hard as they could, and they were punching me and trying to pull me down to the ground. I think that the 10 kids would pull me down. So now I'm saying to myself, you talk about lesbians, I could destroy 20 kids. No, you can't. If you had 20 of those kids, you're going to lose. You're going to lose. I'm telling you. You're going to lose. You're going to be dragged down to the floor. They're going to hit you over the head with blocks and shit. And now I'm thinking to myself, what if I go to like my kid's school, if I'm blessed with children and I go to a school function and the kids turn on the adults. How are we going to fight off all those kids? We're outnumbered.
I don't know.
Fucking kids are creepy. I don't care. I'm a real man for expressing these thoughts. As these 6 kids were holding me to the side, I'm like, now listen, I moved from the 6 kids, but if you add a couple more kids there, now I'm realizing that you're
not going anywhere.
They're stunting my movement. They're stopping me from moving. You imagine midgets like Chris Wolf. You have 20 midgets coming at you. You're losing.
Infinite contest is I'd kick them all in the nuts.
All right, if you have 15 midgets, let's put 15 midgets versus one strong guy, right? Let's say a muscular man. You know, this guy's a very strong man, but you have 15 midgets versus that one man. I think the midgets win. It's fucking crazy. Think about that. Who wins? 15 midgets or one really strong guy?
I wouldn't know.
The midgets.
Maybe.
All right. See what you did?
I did.
All right, let's move on over here. Let's
right.
talk about this Stipe and what's with the story. We spoke about it a lot before, but what's with the story?
Okay, so according to MMA junkie Tyson Fury has answered Stipe Miocic's challenge and offers a boxing match, saying after I get Wilder out of the way.
Looks like all right, we're back in action. I think we're back in action.
All right.
Black Knight 3000, thank you for the sub. We appreciate it. You are wonderful, wonderful. I lost him over there. All right, so let's get into the story over here. And sorry about the disconnect. Unfortunately, had some technical difficulties with OBS. All right, back into the story, JBH.
Miocic told ESPN on Monday that he had turned his sights from a trilogy bout with Daniel Cormier to a matchup with Fury, saying he'd be interested to face the 6'9" Brit in the octagon or the boxing ring.
Do you think it was the 15 midgets that stopped the stream? Do you think that they are so powerful that they even stopped our stream?
Yes.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Back to story.
And in an interview conducted by his management team, MTK Global, Fury formally accepted the challenge and said he'd happily face Miocic in a boxing match a little further down the line once he has dealt with his unfinished business with WBC heavyweight champ Deontay Wilder. He said, quote, Stipe says he wants to box me. That would be a good fight for sure.
Who wins, Jesse? Liam says midgets yes, kids no. If you put 15
Why are
kids,
we reading the news if we're still talking about midgets?
But think about this. All right. 15 kids that are around 10 years old. Let's go.
Okay.
All right. 15 10-year-olds
Yeah.
versus 15 midgets. Who wins?
15 10-year-olds versus 15 midgets.
Yeah. Like midgets in their 20s. So say midgets like around.
I would say 15 10-year-olds. Because even though they're younger,
they got the reach,
and they don't really have the ability to process what they're doing, I think they're a little more agile. So I would go with the 15 10-year-olds for sure.
Who do you guys think in the chat? And then we'll get back into the story, but I just want to know who wins, the midgets or the 10-year-olds. That's actually a good question if you think about it. So midgets easy. Stream is dying. Is the stream dead? What's going on?
No, it's up.
Oh, okay. Midgets all day. Kids are weak. YouTube censorship.
Guys, just refresh.
Yeah, but you're saying that to people that don't realize you have to refresh.
Well, our views are dropping because people are they think that
no,
it's
it could
down.
be the topic. It's probably the topic. All right. So it says midgets easy. Jason Knight wins. How about 15 elves? Kids are very weak. 10-year-old bastards. KFC 20 of him, I don't know. Stream is dying. Refresh. We got YouTube strike for talking.
All right. So for those of you guys having issues, we are live right now. We are still live. There are no issues. You just have to refresh your stream. That's all.
All right. Let's get it. All right. They'll find us. We'll just keep going because we are live right now. We'll go back into the story.
Well, that was the story. Fury says after he takes care of business with Wilder, then he will fight Stipe Miocic.
Okay, so we spoke about it at the beginning of the show, and it is a ridiculous fight, but then we realized, holy shit, we'd probably watch it regardless. So the question is, who wins, Jesse?
Fury. I think Fury takes the win on that one.
Yeah, and I agree.
We've seen the guy get literally knocked out and then stand back up within seconds.
Yeah.
So I would go Fury on that one for sure.
All right. Chat, let me know what you think as we move into the next story. What is in the news with Nate motherfucking Diaz?
Yes. According to MMA Mania, sorry. I was about to say Bull Yellow. Nate Diaz has repaid a bitch-ass fan who lost rent money on a UFC 244 bet. UFC welterweight veteran Nate Diaz probably thought he was doing some charitable work when he repaid a fan who lost his rent money on UFC 244, but opening up his wallet was like putting out a bowl of milk for a stray cat. Tomorrow he'll have a dozen more on his doorstep. Diaz lost his BMF title fight by way of doctor stoppage earlier this month in New York City, and while an argument can be made for letting the contest continue, the first 3 rounds were not close and Jorge Masvidal was in complete control, to the point where Gamebred won the second stanza by a score of 10-8. There are some screenshots on there, Moss. If you want to click the link, I can actually show you. It's tempting to take a huge dump on this fan for doing something as reckless as betting with rent money, but we think we can speak for many of us when we say we've all done some dumb shit with our money when we weren't supposed to.
Wait, so what happened here? They lost money on bets on this?
Let me explain what happened.
Oh, shit, it's BetDSI. It's our sponsor.
No, it's okay because they still bet. So here's the thing. Nate Diaz posted smoke break or some shit like that. Unknown Killers 213, the username of a fan, said, Nate, I lost my rent money betting on you. Now I'm sleeping in my car till I come up with my half. Nate Diaz then responded in the comment section, don't trip, I got your bitch ass. And then Unknown Killers sent Nate a message. If you scroll up a little bit, you can see it. It says, Nate, I love you. Are you serious? Come beat up my roommates at USC. I'm a broke college kid trying to make it. And then he shows a screenshot of his bet from that night where he lost money on the bet. Nate Diaz said, say less, I got your bitch ass 100 and PayPal. Now, Unknown Killers did give an update regarding this, saying, update for everyone asking me. Yes, Nate actually helped me out. Nate is the true OG BMF. He sent me more money than what I lost on my bet, and I'm using it to buy from his CBD company, Game Up. Nate is a really cool guy. When I made that post, I didn't think twice about it. I didn't even think he would see it, and I even let him know that I wasn't really sleeping in my car. It was more of a joke, but it was awesome the way he responded, and the fact that he refunded me and gave me some extra cash just goes to show he is a man of the people.
Now, I mean, if this is a true story, you gotta give
it is indeed a true story.
Crazy props to Nate Diaz here. That is insane. Hey, I lost $5. You think he'll send me $5? Here, tweet him now. Tweet him a screenshot and say, hey, I lost $5.
That's what the point of the article was, is like giving milk to a stray cat. You give it to one, and then all of a sudden,
everyone's gonna be hitting him up.
Everyone's gonna be like, oh, I lost money on my bet. And Nate Diaz,
you can't pay everyone back. It's insane. But still, the fact that Nate Diaz would do something like that, that is pretty badass. That's pretty badass, I gotta say. The more that time goes on, the more I like Nate. Nick's a fucking nut job. But Nate, I really like him. I really do like this dude. He's a fun guy to root for. Not fun guy like fungus. Fun guy, Jesse. But I wonder how much he paid him. How much do you think it was?
He said it was more than his rent money, and he provided him with extra cash.
Yeah, but he could live in a shithole.
Well, rent, I would say, is usually, I mean, even if he lives in a shithole, you're looking at perhaps $500 a month, if, perhaps more. So Nate definitely hooked him up with a little bit of cash.
That's cool, man. I really like that. That's a good story. You see these guys and gals that compete, and they're inside, they're locked in a cage, and they beat the living shit out of each other for a living. And you think they're just animals. A lot of people just think they're just these heartless animals that just want to carve each other's faces up with elbows and knees. And it's not the case. Some of the most humble athletes you'll ever run into. They are the nicest people out there. And a guy like Nate, I mean, he's probably running some hard times.
My question is, why did the guy bet his rent money?
Because he's an idiot. He's a fucking moron.
Are you fucking kidding me? Your rent money?
He's an idiot. Let's be honest. He's a fucking idiot. But at least he used the right website, Jesse, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. Just because you're not in Vegas doesn't mean you can't bet on MMA and UFC. BetDSI offers online wagering and has been paying winners for 20 years. Use the link in the description with promo code MMA-Hole, all one word, and get up to 100% bonus match as well as $25 as a welcome bonus today. BetDSI also offers betting options for everything, including NFL, NCAA football, NBA, NHL, UFC, and all the major sports, politics, drugs, TV, esports, virtually everything. We play there ourselves and recommend BetDSI if you want to add some excitement to the fights or any of the sports you are watching. Once again, go to BetDSI with the link in the description below using promo code MMA-Hole, all one word, and get a limited time 100% bonus offer as well as $25 as a welcome bonus to make some extra cash in the sports you know and love. It's only a game until you bet it at BetDSI.
Yeah, BetDSI is
wonderful.
Now, don't worry. I noticed the MMA over here has just the Tito Ortiz and the Rodriguez fight for December 7th. It looks like they still have to refresh and get the lines in for the UFC and hopefully bare knuckle as well.
Don't you fret, my pets.
But they have all the sports on here. Check it out. BetDSI is our sponsor and promo code MMA-Hole for double that money. Also,
do you put your body to the test day in and day out? Do your muscles feel so stressed and fatigued that it hurts just to get out of bed in the morning? Whether you're a rigorous athlete or a hard worker, you want to buy a massage gun that provides the best therapy in the market. Theragun provides an all-in-one massage and recovery tool. Theragun helps you release muscle tension, soreness, and recover faster. Use the link in the description below and start using a deep muscle massage treatment unlike anything you've ever felt. If you use the link in the description below, you get 2 free attachments for a $40 saving. Again, head over to Theragun.com/holes and start feeling better, moving better, and recovering faster with tension and soreness relief.
the count for today was 2 times. I Theragunned 2 times today. Once before the gym and once after the gym. Thank you, Theragun. And 2 attachments, right? They get?
Right, 2 attachments for a $40 saving.
2 bonus attachments on the Theragun. Link in the description. Check it out for yourself. Also, what do we got here, Jesse? Shout out to our sponsors.
Do you own a business, event, or organization and are looking for the most efficient tools for marketing and advertising? Sticker Mule offers easy online ordering with a 4-day turnaround and free online proofs with free shipping. Use the link to Sticker Mule in the description below and get incredible promotional materials such as durable and waterproof vinyl stickers, coasters, magnets, customized tapes, labels, bumper stickers, and more. Sticker Mule offers full color printing at the highest quality that you deserve. Free shipping, free online proofs, fast production, satisfaction guaranteed. We use Sticker Mule for all of our marketing needs, and we've never been happier with the products we receive. Visit Sticker Mule with the link in the description today.
Yes, Sticker Mule, yeah. And last but not least, one of my favorites.
Timeless CBD sees a gap in the industry between quality and affordability. This is a CBD company that strives to make top-notch products at prices people can afford. All of Timeless CBD's products are carefully handmade at their facility. Each and every batch is third-party tested. Visit Timeless CBD with the link in the description and get your hands on only the best CBD products such as full-spectrum oils, gummies, pain salves, freezes, BCAAs, and more. Use promo code MMA-Hole, all one word, for up to 20% off of your entire order. We use Timeless CBD on a daily, and we haven't felt this good in years. We recommend Timeless CBD to anyone seeking treatment for numerous conditions. Once again, visit Timeless CBD with the link in the description below and use promo code MMA-Hole, all one word, and get up to 20% off of your entire purchase.
Timeless is amazing. It is amazing. It's wonderful, wonderful.
Wonderful, wonderful.
We got a new batch coming in, some Timeless stuff, so we'll be doing some more giveaways. But if you can't wait, I'm still in a tunnel there. If you can't wait, there's a link in the description. 20% off. Get your CBD products. We love Timeless. It's the best. And a lot of people are like, where do you find good quality CBD? Down below. Not that fake bullshit. There's a lot of companies online that you don't even know what you're buying. You don't even know if there's any CBD in it. This is guaranteed down below. Timeless.
Wonderful, wonderful.
Wonderful, wonderful. All right. So the story that we ended up with before our commercial breaks over there was Nate Diaz gave a lucky fan his money back for a sports bet that he placed on that BMF fight. So that's actually really freaking cool. Really cool. So shout out to Nate Diaz. We discussed Stipe Miocic and Tyson Fury, a possible boxing match. Logan Paul, will he fight again in the zone? And it looks like he will. The question is who? CM Punk, he says he beat in an MMA fight, so you can kind of scrap that because the zone is doing this boxing thing. And then you got Dillon Danis. Will he stand and trade with Connor's friend?
Yes, sir. My foot was up a balloon.
Dillon Danis. We will find out. Or do we even care? That's the question. When Jessie gets back, we got to beat up the ceiling. 103 likes, and here she is.
Moss,
Yeah.
I just realized that I was so busy setting up for the stream that I forgot to put the chicken away.
I'm not surprised. Well, the chicken away now?
No, it's probably bad by this point, so I'm going to have to make more.
Good job. If you want something done, you got to do it yourself. Like beat up the ceiling.
I've got 50 likes. You've got 50 likes. We've got 50 likes. MMA-Holes 50 likes. I've got 50 likes. You've got 50 likes. We've got 50 likes. MMA-Holes 50 likes. I've got 50 likes. You've got 50 likes. We've got 50 likes. MMA-Holes 50 likes. The dislikes can choke on a dick.
All right, 10 people choking on the hog, and 104 people are hanging.
Hanging with the boys.
Thank you for joining us tonight. Jessie, how you feeling?
Better. My tummy feels better.
Good.
Just hanging out with you, talking about MMA. What more could I ask for?
Nothing. It doesn't get any better than this. And you got your best friends in here in the chat. Good to see everyone in there. JBH's belts behind us.
Yeah.
Okay. So we spoke about the Jason Knight bathroom incident.
According to MMA Mania, Dana White respects Israel Adesanya's desire to face Yoel Romero and will work on booking the UFC title fight.
So Romero's getting it. What?
Yikes. Well, he said he'll work on it. If you know one thing about the UFC president Dana White, it's that he can change his mind at the drop of a hat, and a fight he wasn't feeling before can be a reality 15 minutes later. After saying he wasn't too interested in booking Israel Adesanya's first middleweight title defense against former two-time title contender Yoel Romero, White has seemingly changed his tune. Speaking to Kevin Iole, Dana has had a change of heart regarding the possible championship fight, and it has to do with the last stylebender openly calling for a showdown against the soldier of God. Indeed, White previously stated that Romero needed to get back into the win column first before getting his third shot at UFC Gold. In his last outing, Yoel came up short to Paulo Costa at UFC 241 a few months ago. Speaking of Costa, he was in line to be Israel's first challenge after Adesanya won the title at UFC 243, but after Borrachina suffered an untimely injury, he was sent to the shelf, prompting the promotion to look elsewhere. That said, if a fight between Adesanya and Romero doesn't get booked in the next few months, then perhaps it would give the Eraser enough time to get healthy in order to receive his much-deserved shot at the title. Stay tuned.
I have a picture of Israel Adesanya over here. It's a moving picture of him after the Yoel Romero fight, Jesse. And man, it doesn't look good for Izzy.
I don't like that.
No? Why?
Nah, I'm not a fan.
Why?
Not funny.
You don't, why, you don't, what?
Nah. I'm not a fan of him, Moss.
All right. So what do you think of Romero getting a title shot? I mean, if you look at his record as of late, it's not title shot worthy, but you could make some arguments. And what do you think about him getting it?
I like it. I actually am a big fan of this fight. I'm a little concerned about him getting Yoel so soon. But at the same time, I think this is going to be a really big way for those of you guys who haven't jumped on board with Adesanya yet, which I can't understand why. If there's any other way to really prove him, if Robert Whittaker didn't do it for you, if Kelvin Gastelum didn't do it for you, if there's any other way to prove him, it's with Yoel Romero. So I kind of like it.
Whoa, shit. There it is. Here's the problem, though. If he beats Romero, people are going to say, he's 42 years old. They're going to make a million excuses. I don't care what. Listen,
they had excuses for Gastelum, and they had excuses for Whittaker.
Yep.
You can make as many excuses as you want, but how many heavy top-tier fighters does he need to fight and beat before you finally jump on board with Israel Adesanya?
Well, that's the problem.
So make as many excuses as you want.
If I was an Izzy fan, though, and he is content with staying where he is at middleweight, defending his belt, I like that. I still want to see the top guys fighting him.
Yes.
And just so I could shut everyone up, right? And Robert Whittaker, you could say, it was the long layoff. Kelvin Gastelum, he was a welterweight.
Okay.
Yoel Romero, he was 42 years old.
Did people not make...
Anderson Silva, he's in his 40s.
Okay. Did people not make excuses when Conor McGregor was coming in and he started beating top-tier fighters? Did they not make excuses for him?
What was the excuse with Aldo, though?
That's a good question.
Were
there excuses made for Aldo?
No.
You would know better than I would.
If you're going to make an excuse for Aldo, you could say, hey, Conor was in his head, but that's because Conor got in his head. What would be the excuse?
But what about the other top tier fighters that Conor's fought? There's been excuses for why every single one of them has lost, right?
And as a Conor fan, I would have liked to see Conor at 145 dominate.
Okay.
Like, I would have loved to see that.
But all that aside, just to make my point, it doesn't matter what fighter it is. If a fighter is coming up in the rankings, and if a fighter has just won the championship and is beating top tier fighters, it doesn't matter what happened with his opponents. People will always find an excuse.
But
always.
You don't think that Adesanya is a little bit of an exception to the rule? I mean, there are
Absolutely
a lot of
not.
people
I would
dogging
say
Adesanya.
earlier on, I gave you the exception of thinking he was a hype train. I said he's not a hype train, but you believed he was, and I let you have that because it was still very early. He is now beating top tier fighters. He's about to take on Yoel Romero. A lot of fighters are too scared to take on Romero.
I know, but I can make a lot of excuses and still argue my other
what
opinion.
are excuses going to get
Now,
you? The guy's just good. He's
I
a
think
champion
he's good.
now.
I really do. But I want and Robert Whittaker was a big test, and he passed that test convincingly.
He passed it the exact way that I thought he would.
I can't argue it. But if you want me to sit there and play devil's advocate, I could sit there and say, well, Bobby Knuckles.
Of course you could, because you
was
are not
on the shelf for a while. You know?
I think you believe in Adesanya.
Yeah,
but I don't think you're fully on the Adesanya train. So, of course, you could come up with every possible reason why Adesanya is not
I'm not saying
great.
I am coming up with it. I'm
No,
saying
but you
I
could.
can.
Right.
And here's the thing. If I am an Adesanya fan, I would not want to see him fight Whittaker. Because, Romero.
But people said the same thing about Whittaker.
Let me tell you why.
And Gastelum.
Let me tell you why. If he fights Romero, there is nothing he can gain from that. And that is a problem. A guy that really doesn't deserve
fact that he beat Yoel Romero.
Okay. Romero, there's more negatives than positives that come out of that fight.
But those are the excuses that you find.
No, it's not an excuse. What I'm saying is this. If I am in Israel, I don't know how I can explain this to you. I'm saying if I'm an Adesanya fan, I'm trying to look on the other side of the equation. If I'm an Adesanya fan, I want him to defend that belt against a guy that would shut everyone up, right? That's what I want to do. Now, with a Yoel Romero thing, I don't know if that's the guy, because there's just too many negatives that come out of it. His age, right? Does he deserve the title shot right now? And if Izzy loses that fight, oh my God, it would be the worst for a Adesanya fan.
And that's a fair argument. But did people not argue that about Whittaker when he was just getting ready to fight Whittaker?
No,
not because too long? Yes, they did.
Hold on a second.
Yes,
You're asking me a question. Can I answer it?
Well, I expected you to give the right answer.
All right, let me answer. Well, let me answer the question. If you ask me a question, I answer. Robert Whittaker. If he loses to Robert Whittaker, you can give Izzy hell, but at the same time, some people are saying Robert Whittaker was one of the best at middleweight. People were on that train, and including myself. Robert Whittaker beating Adesanya, I would say, hey, I told you so. But Bobby Knuckles is a beast. Okay? Romero is a beast. Don't get me wrong. He is a beast, but he is an aging beast that... What did he win? It is. What did he win? One out of his last three?
So...
You're missing my whole point.
No, I'm not. I'm fully listening to you. 100%. I have absorbed everything you said like a sponge. And I respect your argument, but the age thing has got to go. That argument is so old because there are still look at Daniel Cormier. There are still fighters who are well past their years in their careers and they're still in the game that are fucking phenomenal.
Yeah.
So
Daniel Cormier, you're comparing Yoel Romero to Daniel Cormier.
I'm not comparing them.
It's apples and oranges.
I'm saying get the age thing out of your head.
He's such a tool. So Jeremiah,
and that's
don't
your
like
opinion, and I respect your opinion. A lot of people still are on board with you, Jeremiah. A lot of people still think that Israel Adesanya is just a hype train.
Yeah.
I don't.
I think you're missing my whole point.
No, I'm not. Listen.
I'm actually defending Adesanya here and fans.
And I thank you for that. But my point that I'm trying to get to the audience or to people who are not on board with the Adesanya train is that you can put past all the excuses now. If what he's done so far wasn't enough for you, I don't know what will be. You'll always find something.
Losing this fight, if he loses against Yoel Romero, this will take him light years backwards. It is a very dangerous fight with very minimum reward. That is the point. Okay. That is the point. So if I'm an Adesanya fan, I would be terrified of this fight. On paper, Adesanya should win this fight. He should win this fight. And if he doesn't, it's not good. It is not good if you're in Izzy. And if you're in Izzy land, it is not good.
I agree with you.
So that's what I'm trying to say here. I'm trying to think as an Adesanya fan, because on the other side of things, I know everyone is like, oh my God, he's the best. The guy's good. Adesanya is very good. He's very talented. And watching him do his whole tour of interviews, I like him even more. I think the guy's a very likable guy. Now, Jeremiah doesn't like him, and there's a lot of people that are in Jeremiah's boat.
Exactly. There's a lot of Jeremiahs out there.
A flat-out tool.
Yeah.
I could see that because he's cocky. Mm-hmm. But when you watch him interviewed...
All right.
When you watch it, Adesanya interviewed, there is a likable quality to him. There is something there. He admits to being bullied. He admits to being unique and different from everyone else. And that is something that people can latch on to.
Yes.
And right there, I find
honest.
him...
You can't stop the Siberian Express.
She's so defensive of Adesanya. Pulse.
Yo El Romero be like I Yubo Ewal. Israel Adesanya be like I love boys. Yo El will add the flamboyant Nigerian to the list of the other middleweight fighters he's already slept. Also Weeb Kamin in about 3 weeks.
Listen.
There you go.
Say what you want about Adesanya. Say what you want to grill him. It's not going to change the fact that he is a good fighter and that a lot of people are jumping on board with him. And honestly, I think a lot of fans don't jump on board with him yet because they're scared. I think people are actually scared to see that Israel Adesanya is actually made of something. And maybe I'm writing him a little too hard here.
You know what's funny? And fans like you, and don't take this as an insult, but fans
I 100% know I am on the hype train.
I know, but fans like you turn fans like me off to certain fighters.
Fair.
And people could say that to me about Conor.
100%.
Right? So you have to understand that there is going to be a serious backlash if he loses.
Hey, guess who got their package today? Me.
Yeah!
I must say the print on them t-shirts are great, so we're the stickers. My hat was a tiny bit small, but it fits cozy and it is a top quality. Job JBH, you are a beast and also hired. Did you get my package yet?
No, we didn't get anything yet, Lee W, but I'm glad you enjoy your package.
That's awesome. All right, Lee W. Put some pictures on the MMA-Holes.com. We'd love to see your swag.
So, just to sum up what I was saying, I'll tell you in a second. This is not over.
What does Roberto have to say?
Kiwi Bruce send me an Israel Adesanya shirt. I hope he's awake in Australia.
Send me an Israel Adesanya shirt. I hope he's awake. Yeah, shout out to Kiwi. Shout out to the Discord over there. Patrons. Wonderful. Thank you, Roberto Hernandez. Appreciate it.
So I think it's a fair argument for you to say that I might be turning people off to Adesanya because I am so high on Adesanya right now. And I agree that I might be. But I don't care. Because you're either going to like him or you're going to hate him. There is no in between when it comes to a fighter like this. When it comes to a fighter who actually rised in the ranks and made it to the top and still...
One's in the chat. If, what the fuck? All right, reconnected. Okay. So let me know what the ones in the chat if you're still hanging with the boys over here. If you can see the stream. It's crazy. It's so annoying. It's so fucking annoying that it keeps doing this. Like, live streaming is the most stressful bullshit in the world. All right, so drop the ones if you still see us. There we go. All right, we're back in action. Good stuff. All right, I'm sorry. I wish I knew what the fuck the deal is. But unfortunately, this is a thing with live streaming. Okay, welcome back, guys and gals. Appreciate it. So basically what I was saying before the whole thing, I don't know what got cut off. But I'm in a unique spot because I like Izzy as a person, but there's something missing. Like, I see the potential in him. He's, 31 years old? Or how old is he now?
Yeah, hold on, let me check.
Yeah, he's like early 30s or 31, 32 years old. I see the potential in him, and I see how he can be a star.
30.
He's 30 years old, okay. So I see how he could be a star. There is just something missing, and I can't figure out what it is. And maybe what's making me not believe fully in him is the hardcore fans that are completely sucking him off. Like guys like Luke Thomas are hardcore sucking off Adesanya. And I understand, I get it, the guy's good. But there is something missing. There is something there that just doesn't connect with me with Adesanya. Not as a person, but as a fighter. I can't believe in him yet completely. I believe in him, but not completely. It's a weird spot being a fan. So I can't put my finger on it.
I can't blame you. I can't blame you at all. I know that we're going through a lot of lags right now, guys. It's been lagging over here too.
Well, we're just going to keep going. So, I mean, I appreciate the feedback. We're just going to keep running through it. And what can we do?
No, it's fair. It's fair. I can't argue with you. You're going to have your opinion. I think at some point you're either going to decide whether or not you fully like him or fully dislike him.
So in the chat, El Mapache del Helado, explain to me why I'm crazy. I would like to know, because honestly, I think I'm being fair. I like the guy as a person. I think he's a very good fighter. There's something missing in the fact of I don't know if he's going to be one of those guys that it's going to be like this unbelievable fighter. He's great. He looks good, but there's something there.
So this is the perfect example of a logical mindset of an MMA fan. Right now, you with Israel Adesanya, it's considered a logical mindset. You know, mine would be more of a biased mindset. I liked him from the beginning, and I will always.
Clearly, I'm illogical, because there are people like, what do you mean the guy's the best?
But this is what I mean. So those people who are like, oh, what do you mean, including myself, it could be a biased mindset. You might have the logical mindset of an MMA fan when it comes to this particular fighter, because you had the opportunity to really sit down and reflect on what you like and don't like about him before you really made the decision of whether or not you were a fan.
Why did you jump on the hype train so soon?
Because I saw potential in him. When I first saw him, I saw so much potential, and I was like, this guy.
But you see a potential in a lot of fighters.
I do. You're right, and sometimes I'm wrong.
Yeah. So, but what about him? Do you think that you might fall in love?
The first thing I noticed was that he was a pinpoint striker, much like Wonder Boy, and you don't find very many of those in the division he's in. And the last time Whitaker fought a pinpoint striker was Wonder Boy.
Yeah.
And he lost to Wonder Boy.
And
that's the first thing I noticed.
I believe their styles, though. I mean, the last Stylebender, he has that kickboxing style, but Wonder Boy's got more of that karate style.
Their fighting styles aren't 100% identical.
Yeah, I find them very different.
But their striking style is very similar. And that's the first thing I noticed. And I was like, this guy's going to destroy Whitaker. And I knew that from the beginning. And then when I started seeing his interviews and seeing how humble he was when he was handling things, like, yeah, you might say he's cocky, which he can be, but it's in a funny way to me. Like, it's not like he's really throwing anything in anyone's face. You know, he is very humble in defeat and humble in victory, but he hasn't really had any defeats in the UFC. So there's just so many things about him that I started pulling that I was like, this guy's going to be something. And I was right. He became the champion. And I think that that he's really going to show a lot of potential, too, down the road when he defends.
Okay. So, all right, let's see what the chat says about the situation with Israel Adesanya. Adesanya. That's how you say his name, right?
Yeah. Let's see. El Mapache says Adesanya's striking is unparalleled. Randy Paya says Tony Ferguson would beat Khabib. The Great Yash says he's cocky and humble. And H says, a flat earth, thank you. The F-35, I missed it, sorry. T. Glennon says, elite wrestler will test him. Whiskey Dragonfly, very interesting. Izzy is the same as Connor. A lot of the core demo of UFC. White males 18 to 36 don't like Izzy. Wonder why. Coincidence? Not at all.
Yeah, that's just flat up. I mean, I think it's stupid, to be honest. To go with the race thing is, if you're going to go with that.
No, he's talking about the demographic.
What do you mean? I mean, he's talking about white people, right? So, I mean.
Well, that was the demographic, but
he's basically saying, listen, I'm reading between the lines there. I understand what you're saying here. It's not because he's fucking black. You know, that's not what the deal is. My favorite fighters are Cormier, the Black Beast. Like, those are guys that I go hard for. I love those guys. Adesanya, I don't hate the guy. And you know, saying it's the demographic and this and that. There is something missing, and people can't wrap their head around the fact that people don't think that, or people just flat out don't like him. Maybe they just don't like him for who he is. You know, like, I don't know. But so I saw someone in the chat say something about like who is a guy that would be a good test. Paulo Costa is a guy. That is a guy that would be interesting, and I do believe Adesanya beats him. Yes, I think that is a guy that if he defends against belt against Paulo Costa, that's interesting. Cannonier as well. Those are two guys. I'm like, all right.
I would think Romero.
I'll tell you what.
Damn, them midgets are determined to shut you down after the disses earlier. Plus, Izzy is a top fighter.
There you go. All right, and Izzy is a top fighter. Thank you, Lee W. He is a top fighter. I agree with that. My problem is, like, everyone is catapulting him to be the next thing, right? And he is close. Like, he has the makings of being something that can be the next thing there. I just feel like there's something off. I can't figure out what it is. Now I'm trying to figure out what is the test for me, right? Robert Whittaker was a guy that, listen, he beat him, he knocked him out. I can't discredit that. It was a fantastic win, and that made me soften up tremendously on Adesanya. You know, I think the guy beating Robert Whittaker, I mean, the guy is a fucking beast. When you have Yoel Romero, my problem is I love the fight. I think the fight is great. I just feel if you're an Adesanya fan, there are a lot of negatives that could come out of this. And as a fan, I wouldn't want to see that. I'd rather see Izzy beat a Cannonier, beat a Costa especially, and then take on like a guy like Yoel Romero. You know, I would like to see something like that after Romero bounces back with a win. You know, he's coming off a loss. If you look at Yoel Romero, I mean, the guy is a beast. He's an animal at his age. It's amazing what he's doing. But if you look, he's coming off the loss to Paulo Costa. He's coming off the loss to Robert Whittaker. His last win against a no-chinned Luke Rockhold. Think about it, kids. Kids, think about it. Yeah. Then there was another loss there. Guys and gals. Chris Weidman. I mean, look what we're doing here.
Sorry for saying, Jesse, come with me instead. Playful face. Heart.
Don't apologize. I don't know what we're talking about, but don't apologize. Never apologize.
I'm supposed to go with Tom instead.
Oh, okay. Enjoy. But look at...
Wow. It's nice to hear you care, Moss.
No, I'm just... I appreciate the donation. I just don't... I don't really care. So, Romero, if you look at what's going on here, and this is what I'm saying, Romero is a beast, but as of late, if you look at the resume here, you're not thinking that this guy's a contender. And that's the problem. If he loses to Romero, which it would be funny as all hell, that's a problem. Don't you think, Jesse? Like, look at that. The Costa loss, which I believe he beat Paulo Costa. I also believe he beat Robert Whittaker. I mean, that was close. No, actually, I'm wrong. I did say that Whittaker won that fight. I know a lot of people were on the fence, but I still think Whittaker won this fight. But it was close. Very, very close. And he hurt Whittaker pretty bad. The last fight he won was against Luke Rockhold. Knocked his head to the moon. Then lost to Whittaker before that. Knocked Weidman's head to the moon. Think about it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. His last 5 fights. How many did he win? He won 2 against Rockhold and Weidman. Now, they were former champions. You can say that. But chins, where are their chins at? And in this Rockhold fight, I believe Rockhold was winning that fight against Romero until he got caught. It wasn't the greatest fight. This is why I'm saying it's a problem if he loses this fight. It sets Izzy back. But he's still young. He's only 30 years old. So we'll see what happens. We're going hard on topics here. Let's move on.
According to the Bleacher Report, UFC's Jorge Masvidal shades Conor McGregor amid fight speculation.
It's so funny, man. Like, a lot of people like title shot, and this guy's like, I just want to get paid. That's what he's saying.
Jorge Masvidal called out Conor McGregor as the former UFC featherweight and lightweight champion near his return to the octagon. During an interview Tuesday on the Dan Le Batard show, Masvidal hinted McGregor might be ducking him. Masvidal is coming off a victory over Nate Diaz at UFC 244 on November 2nd. The fight ended after the third round when the assigned doctor determined Diaz could no longer continue due to 2 cuts around his eye.
Super chat.
Okay, let's see what we got here. Brazilian American.
18 to 35 white males is the main UFC fan demographics.
You know what's funny? I think it's older. I think
I thought it was like 40.
Brazilian. Yeah, I heard that are people like in their late 30s, mid to late 30s, like early 40s. I heard it's an older bunch. Let me know in the chat. I'm actually curious. We have 158 in here. Let me know your age. I'm just actually curious to see what the demographic is. I look at our demographic and what he said is correct. But when they talk about the UFC, it's an older generation. They're trying to get the youngsters in there. And now with the BMF stuff and all these novelty fights going on here, I have to think that the younger audience will come in. Let's see what the chat, how old they are. I'm curious.
How old is Moss? 23. 25, 23, 21, 20, 33, 29, 48, 96, 34, 23, 51, 16, 35, 34, 48, 32, 62, 39, 36, 12, 42, 24, 16, 20, 41, 47, 36, 32, 22, 35, 26, 36, 29, 53, 27, 43, 36, 40, 39, 34, 32, 40, 30, 36, 38, 36.
See, there you go.
53.
Yeah, I mean,
45,
I see a couple of 20s sprinkled in there.
35.
I do see that. I don't see any real teens. You know, it's an older demographic. It is. I mean, it is what it is. You know, 30 plus, I would say where it's at. You know, there are 20-year-olds in there, but Chrome 13, yeah. It's just how it works. I mean, I don't know why the UFC has an older, but a lot of people have been watching for a long time when it comes to MMA. Some hardcore people out there. So I think with this whole BMF thing and these novelty fights, you know, you get Conor back in the mix. You have Habib coming back in. You get Colby Covington running his mouth. I think you can bring in this younger audience, and I'm sure they're gonna have fancy new belts doing other things. Anyway, back to Masvidal.
During a press conference in October, McGregor announced he planned to fight January 18th in Las Vegas. While not confirming his next opponent, he indicated he was looking to meet the winner of Masvidal Diaz before moving on to Khabib Nurmagomedov or Tony Ferguson. However, ESPN's Mark Raimondi and Ariel Helwani reported Donald Cerrone and Justin Gaethje had emerged as the likeliest options to McGregor. In the build-up to UFC 244, Masvidal trolled McGregor a bit, saying, quote, "The man right here said I'm too much man for that dude, so don't bring that dude up in my interviews anymore. He already said it himself, so that fight is not available." Masvidal's stock has never been higher, and at 35 years old, he may not have a big window to maximize his present earning potential. It would appear Gamebred wants to as big a payday as he can find when he steps back inside the octagon. He even threw out Canelo Alvarez as an option during his post-UFC 244 press conference, saying, quote, "I'm open to the money and Diaz is a money fight. If Canelo wants to fight, get his ass kicked, that's a fight I'll take. I'm just here to get the biggest checks possible, but Nate is in the future for a fact. We're doing it next year or the year after that, but it's going to happen." Diaz is probably a more realistic pursuit for Masvidal right now, but his continued goading of McGregor could help set up a date down the road.
So nothing in there spoke about the strap. Now, I'm not saying he didn't. I mean, in the interview, he might have. But nothing in this article says anything about Usman
Not
Covington.
specifically, no.
The man wants to be paid. Let's be serious. And, you know, you wait out to see what happens with that, you know, the title fight at UFC 245. But it just confirms what I said in the other stream. He wants to be paid.
Yeah.
Jorge Masvidal is looking for that paycheck, and I don't blame him. I really don't. Street Jesus is on a roll, and taking an L would just set him back. So you got to get those fights. You know, he's got to get those fights that are fun for the fans, but where he thinks he's going to get that W or the matchup is good. You don't want to fight no wrestler. This guy don't want to get. First, he's not going to get paid.
Yeah.
And second, he's going to get fucking humped to a loss.
Yeah, I agree.
You know.
Mm-hmm.
So there you go, Jorge. Thank you for making Mystical right again.
According to Bloody Elbow heavyweight contender Francis Ngannou, UFC treats me like a gatekeeper, he says. Do you agree, Moss? Since his 2-fight skid in 2018, Francis Ngannou bounced back big time with a 3-fight win streak. All of those victories came via first-round knockout, his most recent against former heavyweight champion Junior Dos Santos in June. But even with his impressive run, the number 2 ranked contender still feels undervalued by the company, saying, quote, "The UFC have made it clear for everybody that I'm who you have to fight if you want to fight for the title. It seems like I'm just there to go to the gate. That's how it looks now. If they want to fight for the title, they have to fight me. But how about me fighting for the title? It doesn't seem to be in the talk. So exactly what the UFC has made me to appear to be the gateholder. And yeah, I think Volkov is dodging me clearly. That's not a secret that he's dodging me. I think all my 3 opponents, they had a title shot promise. I think so because Curtis Blades was title shot guaranteed. Cain Velasquez, I think it was the same thing. Junior Dos Santos, after 3 wins, it was the same thing, but they are just forgetting about me." The Predator called out Alexander Volkov after the latter's win over Greg Hardy in Moscow over the weekend. He also insists that it was Volkov who repeatedly turned down their fight. He said, quote, "Just for the record, Volkov turned down the fight against me twice. One was July 2017 and August 2018. He clearly denied to fight me." Ngannou currently holds a record of 14-3 with 14 wins by stoppage.
So this is interesting here. It's such a waste with Ngannou. Like, it really is a waste. We need Ngannou back in. The guy looks great.
I agree.
And it's just a waste of our time. We need him back.
Yeah,
enough's enough.
I kind of agree with him that the UFC has kind of made him a gatekeeper if you really think about it, because he's right. His last 3 opponents, the UFC told them, you got to get through Ngannou if you want the title shot. And they just completely dismissed the fact that Ngannou is the number 2. Like, he should be the one receiving the title shot here.
Think about this. Daniel Cormier is going to retire after the trilogy fight.
Yes.
Stipe Miocic is talking about Tyson Fury. Tyson Fury's not next because Tyson wants to fight, what's his name? Wilder, right?
Yes.
So Stipe eventually is going to have to take a fight. I'm believing it's Cormier. So say Stipe fights Cormier and he gets the win again and he wins the trilogy. I don't think he will, but say he will. He knocked him out the last time, so you could say he's got a good chance of winning again. But say he does beat Cormier. Cormier retires. Stipe wants to get paid. He fights Tyson Fury. Where does that put Francis Ngannou?
Yeah.
The only thing you can say is if Stipe takes a fight outside of the UFC, now we're talking interim strap. And then who is going to be the big boy up top? Do you run it back with Curtis Blades? Blades? He lost. Curtis Blades, not a rapper. He lost.
Wonderful.
He lost twice against Ngannou. I don't want to see a third one of those.
Yeah.
But he's sitting at number 3. So do you make an interim strap there? Dos Santos, he's got a fight coming up. Who did he just sign with? Oh, it's Blades, wasn't it? Isn't Dos Santos fighting Blades? I told you before the show.
Yes.
Is that the fight? Yeah, I think they're fighting. So Blades is fighting Dos Santos. So now you got Ngannou hanging out. And chances are Blades is going to beat Dos Santos. He's going to blanket him like he's been blanketing everyone else. His kryptonite is Ngannou. Could you imagine Francis Ngannou, Curtis Blades 3 for like an interim title? What a mess.
What a mess.
I mean, this heavyweight division is a disaster. It's a fucking disaster.
Yeah.
You got Alistair Overeem with no chin sitting at 6. You have Derek Lewis who bounced back but didn't look great.
Well, he never really, in fairness, he never really looks great in the beginning of his fights.
Well, he didn't look great at all, to be honest. I mean, he was in good shape, but he didn't look great. You got Junior Dos Santos, who is just not going anywhere. The former champ is still hanging in there. Now he's got a shot at Curtis Blades. You got Francis Ngannou with no dance partner at 2. Daniel Cormier is going to retire. John Jones is at light heavyweight, and does he save the show? Does John Jones come up and fight Francis Ngannou? Now, Jesse, John Jones has already called out Dominic Reyes, saying that's the logical fight. Does he fight Dominic Reyes?
Well, he will be fighting Dominic Reyes.
Oh, then that still makes Ngannou wait, so it doesn't really solve the problem. I mean, how many fights does Ngannou have to wait? What do you do with this guy?
I agree with him that the UFC's made him a gatekeeper.
This is ridiculous. What a mismanagement of a guy that is just scary good. Like, I mean, yeah, his ground game is not the best, but he bounced back after his little, fumble with the Black Beast and Stipe and has looked great, right? He's been killing people. Mm-hmm. What he did to Dos Santos. I mean, scary. Cain Velasquez. Curtis Blades.
Velasquez was far out of his prime.
Yeah, but still.
I mean, there's a lot of arguments for that fight.
You got 2 former champs that he put to sleep, right? Took care of business quick. Made quick work. 26 seconds with Velasquez. And yeah, that was embarrassing. But a minute and 11 seconds on Dos Santos. And Dos Santos is still, he's still hanging in there. But he's not as good as he was. But still, I mean, those are 2 former champions. And Curtis Blades, who is a legit wrestler, put him to sleep again. That's 3 fights in a row where he's finishing people in the first round. You got this monster at light heavyweight. That is a problem. That would be fun to see a rematch with Stipe because that first round was complete fire. Even though Stipe, did a fantastic job of making it boring. What do we do with Francis Ngannou? Oh, what a mess. What a complete mess. He's got no dance partner. No one. What would you do, Jess? This guy is fucked. Does he cross over to boxing?
Can you go back to that ranking thing real quick?
Which one you want to go to? The
heavyweight rankings.
I'm telling you, Jess, there is not many options for Ngannou. It's pretty sad. What a waste of talent. What a waste of talent. Connor H.
Who wins in my dream matchups? Vanderlei versus Romero, Chuck Liddell versus Rumble, GSP versus Anderson, Bisping versus Till.
A dream matchups. Vanderlei versus Chuck Liddell. Versus Romero, excuse me. I got to go roided Vanderlei. Liddell versus Rumble. Liddell. And who's the last one? GSP versus Anderson. I got GSP over everyone. I mean, Anderson Silva, you're saying? Oh, shit. Like roided up prime Anderson Silva? I got to go with the roided Silva over GSP. The spider when he was on that tear. And who was the last one? Jesse took the thing away. Who was the last one? Bisping versus Till. Battle of the Brits. I got to go with Michael Bisping. You got to go with the Count. Even though the Count wasn't really a crazy defending champion. That's the one where it could be a problem. That could be a problem one there. So you got GSP over Anderson. I don't know, man. Anderson Silva, when he was on right before Weidman, I mean, he was unbeatable. Like, he was just ridiculous. I mean, so is GSP, of course.
Who was Walt Harris supposed to fight before he pulled?
Who was it? Walt Harris was fighting over him. Alistair. Now Alistair is fighting. He's fighting that dude that stepped in. Against.
What if? Because Volkov already fought Greg Hardy.
This is who he's fighting now. This kid's a fucking animal. He's 8-0. He just knocked out Orlovsky. He's like, I'll fight. I like this kid. Came out of nowhere. Biggie boy.
I'm looking at this, and you see where Volkov is here? And he just got done fighting Greg Hardy. First of all, Greg Hardy's not even in the top 10.
Yeah, why'd he move up?
He doesn't belong in because he won against Greg Hardy.
Oh, that's true. But I mean, he beat Greg Hardy.
Since Walt Harris pulled, it would make sense for Volkov to go above Harris. But Derek Lewis is calling out Greg Hardy as of late. He wants Hardy next. So that sums up Derek Lewis for you. I guarantee the UFC makes that happen. So Derek Lewis is out of the picture. He wants Hardy. Hardy wants Lewis, and the UFC is on board to make that happen. So
wait, he's not even on the list.
Yeah, you're right, but he fought Volkov.
He should be ranked, right? You got to think after beating Volkov, why isn't Hardy ranked?
Well, he didn't beat Volkov.
Excuse me,
I'm
sorry. He took the loss. That's why he's not ranked. What am I talking about?
But here's the thing.
No, he's not going to fight Lewis.
Lewis is taken. No, let's say theoretically Lewis is taken to fight Hardy.
He's not fighting Hardy.
Theoretically, Moss, can you go with me for a second?
It's not happening though.
Can you fucking? I go with you for all of your.
Yeah, but you're making up fake shit.
No, it's not fake. The UFC wants Lewis. Listen, I'm in charge of the news.
Wait, can I ask you a question?
Hardy wants Lewis.
All right, let me tell you what.
Wants Hardy.
I understand
the UFC
that.
wants that to happen.
Derek Lewis is coming off of a win. He's ranked number 5. Hardy is still unranked.
Hardy is, but the UFC is looking at Hardy as a contender.
The only reason why he fought Volkov and he lost, he did lose the fight,
because he jumped in last minute when Dos Santos. I know.
So I mean, you're talking about something that's down the road.
But I'm telling you what the UFC is talking about. So can you go with me for a minute?
This is all right. Go ahead.
Is it that hard for you to do?
Because it's so out of left field. But go ahead, Jesse. I'll put it on you. Go. Tell me.
Lewis is taken by Hardy, right? Volkov has to have another fight down the road because he just won. So he's going to have anyone within the top 6. He can't have Lewis. Takes Dos Santos or Blades. Francis Ngannou deserves the next title shot, right? And you're wondering what happens with Ngannou. It would be a title shot for Ngannou. Give Volkov the top 3 or 4. Derek Lewis takes Hardy. Overeem's...
Oh my goodness.
What?
If you're making Hardy jump after a loss to the number 6 Volkov...
No, I'm not making Hardy jump. I'm telling you, I'm going based on... God.
Jesse, you have completely lost... Listen, do I want to see that fight? Yes.
All I'm saying...
Of course I would,
not
but
saying
I mean,
it's going to happen.
It's not.
Okay, but that's not what I'm saying.
So what are you saying?
Based off of what we're hearing from the UFC, from Lewis, and from Hardy. That's all.
You think Derek Lewis would risk his ranking? Lewis says he wants to fight Overeem. I don't know if you heard him correctly. He wants to fight Alistair Overeem.
He wants to fight Hardy.
That's not what he said. He says
that is what he said.
On Ariel Helwani's show.
Yeah.
He said he wanted to fight Alistair Overeem because he has no chin.
Okay.
What does he gain by fighting Hardy? Besides maybe a paycheck.
It's not about what Lewis gains. It's what Hardy gains.
Baby. This is wishful
Shocker,
thinking.
you can't be on board with me for like a second.
You have me lost. Let's see if the chat thinks about this. I mean, listen, I would love to see Hardy versus Lewis. That'd be a great fight. That'd be fun. But where he sits in the rankings, he sits nowhere. and Derek Lewis is at number 5, coming off a win. What world?
It would be for Hardy. It's not for Lewis.
The only way that happens.
That's what you're missing.
Yeah, the only way that happens is if Lewis's opponent falls out, which is possible. Lewis can have an opponent that falls out, and Hardy can slip in again.
Gamer. Lewis does want Hardy.
Do you think that Derek Lewis is going to take the Greg Hardy fight? Let me know in the chat.
Read the chat, Moss.
Oh, I'm waiting. Lewis has been saying for a long time he wants Hardy, but he is not taking him. Wait, Jesus Christ. I know he said it, but he's not. A number 5 ranked fighter is going to fight an unranked heavyweight that is off of an L. What is going on? Like, guys, I'm hoping you're trolling, because there's no possible way that this is even, like, people are actually saying that this is like a thing. There is that. I am assuming that there's incredible trolling happening right now, because he is an unranked fighter that is coming off a loss, and you're saying he's going to fight the number 5 guy.
Do you think the unranked fighter fighting Volkov, and they put him as the co-main event of a fight night?
Oh my God,
of
Jesse,
a pay-per-view.
You have to understand why this is crazy to me.
But when do UFC rankings ever matter now?
The only way that fight happens is if someone falls out.
You're
and
going
he's like,
based
it's fight
off
week.
of rankings. When has the UFC used?
You're trolling. You're trolling me now, right? Are you trolling me?
Shut up for a minute so I can fucking talk.
Please.
When has the UFC used rankings over the last few months? Actually, over the last year. When have they genuinely used rankings to create matchups?
Is this a BMF fight?
Hardly ever.
Is that what you're talking about?
No, Chris.
I'm just trying to make sense of this.
Stop for a fucking minute and just open your mind. Get out of the fucking box that you're in. Open your mind.
But what are you trying to say?
I'm telling you. I am literally speaking it to you. Listen. Use your ears.
You want that fight to happen, and
how? No, I don't want the fight to happen. I'm saying theoretically, which you for some reason can't wrap your freaking head, your big thick skull around.
Why are you getting mad?
Theoretically, if Lewis and Hardy happened, which the UFC did talk about making happen because they don't go by rankings anymore, Chris. They don't.
So you're saying they're going to put together
a fight. So if
Lewis
and Hardy happened, this is a theoretical matchup of the rest of the fights.
All right. Let me ask you a question. Matchmaking, Jesse. How do you sell this fight? A number 5 ranked fighter versus an unranked fighter coming off a loss. How do you say, hey, this fight makes sense?
How does the UFC say any of the fights make sense when it doesn't go by rankings?
Do you not think that this is one of the most insane things that you've thrown out there?
And I've thrown out some pretty fucking insane things. And this is something that the UFC threw out there, not something that I threw out
there. So
Wyatt
Neff says about the money. Okay. So then it goes back to the point, you have to make it like a BMF thing or some bullshit like that. A bad motherfucker thing. That's the only way you can. You have to make it a novelty fight in order to line those stars up. If you're talking about putting this fight together now, when we're having a serious conversation, and you're telling me a guy coming off a loss that's not even ranked should fight the number 5 guy, I am sorry for not understanding what the fuck is coming out of your mouth. It is completely out of left field. This is GSP shit. I want to wear my tinfoil hat as I listen to this. Let's see the chat now. There's some people that agree. Now, Jeremiah agrees, but he also thinks aliens are in his backyard. I love you, Jeremiah.
Wonderful, wonderful.
What do we got in the chat?
You tell me.
What are they saying? All right, haha, this shit is funny as hell. They can talk trash and build it up. It can be a co-main to DC versus Stipe. So John Paul's with you. Look at that. It's a gimme fight. JBH is right, period. Amaz, pick your battles, boy. Laughing is Vlad. Yes, Chris is correct. Jesse is wrong. Ha, 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 ha. LOL. Johnny Bedford gets knocked out tomorrow. Oh, we can hope. It's not tomorrow, but I hope he does get knocked out. There are king and queen. He's unranked and he has name value. Guys, I will be laughing after this stream because I am assuming you're trolling. Can we talk about the midget thing again? JBH is like, fuck that, you read the chat. Lewis said he would fight Hardy if he beat the Russian. Yeah, he didn't beat the Russian. Thank you. I appreciate that. JBH is about to rage out. Lewis brats on women beaters. Midgets. No way Bedford loses. Yeah, I mean, I know he's the favorite. Make Rumble versus Ngannou. Oh, Robot Vigo. Well, there we go. Finally, someone with a fucking brain in their head has come up with the solution. There you go. Robot Vigo coming in saying Rumble Johnson. See, now we're talking. A person that we did not even bring up, Rumble Johnson, is coming back, and now we have logic. Rumble Johnson versus Ngannou makes total sense. I'm in. I'm 100% in. And I think that would sell. I think Francis Ngannou would have fun with that thing. A guy coming off a long break. Roided out. Rumble Johnson. Yes. Speak to me. What do you think about that, Jess? Rumble versus Francis. Completely over our heads.
Listen, as long as it makes sense to Moss.
What do you think? I'm asking you.
I think as long as it makes sense to you, then it's a fight that can happen.
But what do you think about that?
That's what I think.
Okay, but that being this, put it aside, you silliness.
No, that's what I think.
Come on, the fight with where we're trying to figure out, and I don't know how Derek Lewis got in this whole mix, that whole ridiculous conversation. Put that aside. I'm talking about Francis Ngannou. That was the situation we were trying to solve here. You throw Rumble in the mix, who is coming back next year. Heavyweight fight, big hands. What do you think?
Okay.
And this is why men get in fights at bars.
There he goes with the misogynist comments.
What's misogynistic about that?
You're a misogynist.
Why do you take things so seriously? I strongly disagree.
Because I take the sport seriously.
Okay. And if you wait, hold on a second. You take the sport seriously, yet you want an unranked guy that's coming off a loss to fight a number 5 guy.
This is why I'm better than you. Because you're not thinking about the fact that the UFC doesn't go based on rankings anymore. When has the UFC put together a fight that rankings make sense? You tell me when. It's been last year, if you ask me. Because all year, they've put together matchups that make absolutely zero sense in the rankings. But yet, for some ungodly reason, you still think that the UFC is going to go according to the rankings when they're really not. They're genuinely not going to go by the rankings. They're going to go by what makes them more money. And what makes them more money is Greg Hardy, a former NFL star, a guy who's bringing in pay-per-view buys against someone like Derek Lewis, who's creating a hype on social media. That's what they're going to do.
You can say whatever you want. You completely lost me before that.
Jessie yelled at you, boy, buy her wonton soup and wine.
She's got the wine. She's already whining. And she's got the wine. So she's double dipping. All right, so that's Jessie's opinion. There you go. And there are people in the chat that agree with you. So
whatever.
Listen, aliens could be real too. It's possible. All right. So I like the idea of Rumble. I think that's a good idea. All right, let's move on. And we're going a little bit later today as Jessie's chugging on her wine. She just
drive me insane.
A nice big gulp.
Yeah. You know why it drives me insane? It drives me insane because you can say as many theories, as many ideas, as many fan type topics as you want out there.
Yeah.
And I'm always on board with you. I'm always yesing you, nodding like, yeah, you're right. I agree with you. Even if I have a disagreement.
This is very feminine of you right now.
Shut up.
This is a feminine
Even if
approach.
I have a disagreement, there you go with your misogynist comments.
No, it's a little feminine.
Even if I have a disagreement, I'm still finding a way to be on board with you. I always have your back. But then the one time I have a logical fucking theory and you can't possibly fathom the idea of that being possible.
You're spitting on the mic right now.
Because I'm frustrated.
Okay. Listen, I'll grab the violin and play that for you if you'd like.
Are you fucking kidding me right now?
No one cares.
Do you want to get fucking cock slapped?
No one cares. Move on.
No, you don't care.
All right, we move on.
You don't care. I can't move on because you done did it, Moss.
Well, you chugged on the wine. I didn't put it.
No, you done did it. I'm officially.
Roasted. You suck. Boom.
Oh my God.
Roasted.
I'm getting tired from this. Connor H.
Mom and Dad, please don't fight. Crying face.
Guy, Lord.
You done? You got it out of your system?
Keep pushing me.
All right. There you go. All right. I'm not going to get shit clipped. I'm just looking and laughing. I mean, listen, it's fun. I don't know. You got it. As long as it's out. It's out now? You good? You feel better?
Why don't you just move on?
That's what I was trying to do.
Move on.
All right. So let's move on to the next topic over here. We're going a little bit later, but why not? We're having fun. Jessie's all fired up about her magical matchups, and that's what makes this interesting. What do we got here?
Leon Edwards, better half, decided to roast Tyron Woodley by saying he's off doing show business, and that's why he won't accept a fight with Leon Edwards. Tyron Woodley says that Leon Edwards doesn't bring the views and that he's not good enough to fight Woodley. So it's just a big back and forth here. We all really think that Woodley should fight Leon Edwards. The UFC thinks so, but, Woodley doesn't think so.
Yeah, Woodley is bailing from this. He doesn't want any of this smoke. I don't blame him. But does he really have leverage, though? He's not the champ anymore. Like, when I was listening to his interview with Ariel, I feel like he doesn't have leverage. If he's not the champ, if they throw that fight together, you gotta fucking take it, man. Like, what are you gonna do? You gotta prove to us that
You can't stop the Siberian Express.
You're the champ. Deranged. What's up, Deranged?
Lol. I come here to see JBH laying down the law to you, Moss. She does have a point. UFC has been putting out fights like they just started the thing.
All right. So you think... I'm not going to say...
You're laughing because you're uncomfortable because it's true.
I'm laughing because this is so... Guys, listen.
No, because you can't stand
I feel
when
so superior
people,
right
more
now.
people agree and disagree with you. That's why. You're uncomfortable.
I'm uncomfortable because I'm surrounded by stupidity.
Superior situation. Like the position you're in is far from superior,
Listen,
and you know that, and that's why you're laughing because you're uncomfortable.
I'm laughing because of this, and you just listen. You're letting this guy trigger you again.
Nobody's triggering me. You're triggering me.
Okay.
You make me want to fucking rip your head off and stick it on a post and make Derek Lewis and Greg Hardy beat the shit out of it.
Let me talk to Deranged. Deranged, you're a great guy, and thank you for your donation. An unranked fighter coming off a loss, fighting the number 5 heavyweight fighter coming off a win. What the fuck are you talking about?
This is why he's laughing. Don't be intimidated, Deranged.
What the fuck
he's laughing because he's uncomfortable.
Talking about?
Because he knows he's not in a superior position.
Why are you mad?
So he's uncomfortable. That's why he's laughing.
I'm laughing
Don't
because
be intimidated.
I've never been so right in my life.
Don't be intimidated.
Could you imagine? And this is why I love this show. I have 171 people watching me, and I could be so right. It's the greatest thing in the world.
You're far from right.
Listen, you can say whatever you want.
I will. I absolutely will.
I'm just preaching here. Ave Mystic Moss. Oh my God, it's too easy. Okay, let's move on.
You can't stop the Siberian Express. Choo-choo, motherfuckers.
All right, Connor H., what do we got?
I just want to see titties in fights.
Hey!
You've kids in it for money. I want to see fights that make sense. I love you both, but I don't see Hardy fighting Black Beast until Hardy is ranked. I could be wrong.
Got to put a number in it. And I understand the fact of people saying that, listen, it's a fight. UFC has been putting together crazy fights. But this would be the craziest fight the UFC ever put together. This would be it. You have CM Punk fighting, and then you have this. Like, this would make... It would legitimately...
So you're saying Greg Hardy versus Derek Lewis would be crazier than CM Punk versus Mickey Gall?
It's on that level. It is. Because...
Please.
You don't... What? All right. I tell you what. Give me a fight that's comparable to this fight happening. Give me...
Comparable in what way?
Okay. Everyone's saying crazy fights. That the UFC puts together crazy fights. I need you right now to tell me what fight... that is crazy that the UFC put together that's comparable. Why would the UFC put this together? What did they do in the past that put a fight like this together?
I don't understand what... Okay, but you understand that the UFC is not going based off rankings
Hold on a second.
So every fight... You could pull out a million fights from this year.
All right, hold on. Give me a fight. And I think this is a fair thing to ask. Give me a fight that the UFC put together. And if you want to say CM Punk, you could say that. But that's crazy right there. Right? Well, give me a fight. Give me a fight.
That is the fight.
Okay, so CM Punk versus who?
Absolutely. Mickey Gall.
Okay. Mickey Gall wasn't even in the UFC, so I mean, you could make an argument why they
put them as what? The co-main event of a fucking pay-per-view?
Okay, and that was stupid, yeah.
That is crazier than Derek Lewis or Greg Hardy.
I gave you the CM Punk. Tell me.
No, but
tell me.
It doesn't matter whether you gave it or not. That is the fight.
Okay.
That is crazier than Derek Lewis versus Greg Hardy.
Give me another fight.
Why do you need another one? You have one.
Give me a fight.
Would you like... Okay, allow me.
Please.
All right.
Give me a crazy UFC
I got you.
fight.
Don't worry.
And this is what I'm saying. This era of the UFC is a nutty era. And they make crazy decisions. But within their crazy decisions, it's when their back is against the wall. When they are in a pinch. And what's happening here is you guys are putting together a fight camp, the whole works, with a guy that is not ranked coming off a loss, fighting the number 5 guy that's coming off of a win.
That doesn't mean anything.
If you think about that, the facts, there is no fight that the UFC ever put together like that with a full fight camp.
The fight that would have been the biggest fight in MMA history would have been Kimbo Slice versus Rampage. Both Bellator and UFC blew it.
There you go. The UFC should cross over, by the way, with Bellator. Now, that would be fun to watch, but it's never going to happen. Anyway, Jesse's looking for something.
I will find something. 100%. And I will find the best fucking one. If CM Punk and Mickey Gall wasn't enough for you, I don't know what more you need.
Well, CM Punk never fought in the UFC, right? He never fought.
That's why it's fucking crazy.
Okay. And
that's why it's
neither
worse.
did Mickey Gall.
That's why it's worse than Derek Lewis versus Greg
McGregor
Hardy.
Mayweather was one of the fights, Moss.
But it wasn't put together by the UFC.
Yeah, deranged. You're wrong. You're wrong. That wasn't the UFC.
Jason Beck, you can suck my fucking cock.
Wasn't
because
the
I'm allowed
UFC.
to have a fucking opinion when it comes to the fucking sport. And Moss, I just want you to know that as much as we're arguing tonight, so that all these other motherfuckers who are hating can suck my fucking cock.
Whoa.
You are still my best friend, and I very much enjoy debating MMA with my best friend, because that's what you fucking do when you're passionate about a sport. You fucking debate and you stick to your guns. And if you don't have the fucking balls to do that at home, then fuck you. Suck on my cock and suck on Moss's cock. Fuck you. I can say whatever the fuck I want.
What did he say? Jesus. Take that. How dare you? Anyway.
Right.
I don't know what just happened. I'll tell you what. Get back to me on that fight, because this is going to take you a while to figure it out.
All right.
And if you don't figure it out, it's okay. The reason why I dismissed the CM Punk thing is because he didn't fight in the UFC, nor did Mickey Gall. They threw that fight together.
You understand that's why it's crazier than Greg Hardy versus Derek Lewis, because they were not in the UFC. Greg Hardy and Derek Lewis are in the UFC.
Was
and
it
Derek
a
Lewis is
mismatch?
ranked.
Yes. It was a mismatch. It was a ridiculous fight that they put together. But it is not the mismatch. It's not the craziness of what we're talking about with Greg Hardy. And look at the facts that I'm giving you. If you look at the facts that I'm giving you, it would make more sense. I can't. That's why I can't wrap my head around this. Now, the people could agree with you, and that's fine. But I'm giving fact.
All
and
right.
that's the thing, like
we will agree to disagree.
To me, fact always wins.
No,
always.
it does not.
And the Conor McGregor versus Mayweather would be good if it was under the UFC umbrella. UFC got a little piece of
Mayweather
that.
is talking about coming to MMA.
Now, if that happens, but now, if you look at Conor McGregor now, it's complete circus stuff, right? He shouldn't be where he is ranked. Conor McGregor.
You're right, but because of his name, this is another example. The UFC uses his name because they know it's pay-per-view buys. Ranking or not, Conor McGregor does not deserve a title shot, and he's going to get one.
But he just so happens to be a double champ, right?
That's another fucking crazy fight, Conor versus Khabib. Because he didn't deserve that shot.
He was only a double champion.
He was out of the game. He wasn't even in the rankings.
Oh my goodness.
To watch Douglas Lima kick the legs off of Usman while Usman humps the fuck out of him for 5 rounds would be cool. Also to see Ryan Bader get his dick kicked in by Bones Jones. BTW clip JBH screaming that for a sound bite. You tell him JBH.
There you go.
Flex biceps.
Okay. So there we go. What do you think about that, Jesse?
Yeah, listen, Connor, I look at it this way. Anyone who fucking hates because a woman is giving her fucking opinion on a sport is intimidated that a woman might know more than them. That's the only reason they're doing it. They're fucking intimidated, and they're jealous that they don't have the limelight to say something because they're too fucking pussy to put themselves in front of a camera because they probably look like a fucking troll. So I agree with you, Connor. Thank you. And that's why I tell them that they can suck my cock.
There you go. Damn. All right. Anyway, let's move on because we are over time here. So let's go over to Paige Van Cant. What the hell is she? What's going on here?
It's actually Austin Vanderford.
Okay.
Her husband says the toughest test of his career lays ahead at Bellator 234. He does have a fight coming up against Graychik Bozinian, who's 10-3. He's taking it extremely seriously. No one outside the most hardcore of fans know of the Russian, but Vanderford said he's done his homework, saying this is definitely the toughest guy that he will have fought so far. It's going to be the toughest fight of his career. He's a very skilled fighter, a tough fighter, and he has a lot of finishes on his resume.
Okay. He is tough. The guy looks good, and they'll be reunited after Paige's next fight. She'll be in Bellator in no time. Uh-oh. This has been all over the place, by the way.
Yes.
This is pretty funny.
Well, Chuck Liddell has been insisting that he's going to beat Mike Tyson.
In a street fight, though.
Yes, in a street fight. Saying he's got a puncher's chance. Liddell trained in all facets of MMA. Tyson only had to concentrate on the sweet science, though it's not uncommon to find forum threads speculating on who might win between the two aging fighters. Liddell told Ed Milet, in a street fight, I'd win. I mean, he's got a puncher's chance. He's got a chance to catch me coming in, but other than that, it's over. Liddell's 49 years old, competed as recently as November 2018, where he was knocked out by longtime rival Tito Ortiz under the Golden Boy MMA banner. As for Tyson, 53, he retired at age 38 after losing to the unheralded Kevin McBride back in June 2005.
All right. Who wins in a street fight? Liddell or Tyson? I saw Tyson throwing lately. I think Tyson beats him now.
Mm-hmm.
Tyson still got that speed. I think I Mike Tyson. I don't know. Can I do Mike Tyson? I really never did.
That was close.
Yeah. Who wins in the street fight?
I would go Tyson, for sure.
Yeah, me too. I think Liddell, the CT, is real.
After seeing him against Tito in his last fight, it was a little concerning. I think Tyson would 100% knock this guy out.
I saw this. Patty Pimblett,
Pimblett.
And I'm always rooting against him because he blew us off. So Pimblett, hopefully Giannetti whoops your ass.
Yeah.
He's filling in, huh? Joe Giannetti from the Contender Series.
Tough finalist, Joe Giannetti.
Ultimate Fighter, excuse me.
Cage Warriors 111.
Giannetti's been trying to get into back into the UFC, and he just can't do it.
Yeah. Well, Joe Giannetti at Cage Warriors 111 on November 22nd at the Indigo. His opponent pulled out due to injury, forced his opponent Donovan Desmay from their London clash. Patty Pimblett will be filling in. Cage Warriors announced the new opponent via press release on Wednesday. It's the second time that a bout between Pimblett and the Belgian has fallen apart. The Liverpoolian was forced from their initial December 2018 date due to injury. Pimblett is 14-3-0, one of the best-known fighters competing under the Cage Warriors banner.
He's kind of overrated, let's be honest.
Well,
because he blew us off. This fucking guy agreed. He agreed to come on.
Mm-hmm.
And then just kind of like flaked on us.
Yeah.
It's like, what the fuck? Dude, you're nobody. You fight for Cage Warriors. Relax.
Well, he is a former promotional featherweight champion. He's been sidelined from MMA competition for 14 months due to a hand injury. In his last MMA outing, Pimblett was bested over 5 rounds by former Cage Warriors double champ and newly signed Bellator fighter Soren Bach.
All right. Everyone was saying when Conor was on his rise and you know everything was going on, they were saying this guy's the next McGregor, and boy did he get humbled like super quick. So let's see. Who knows? Maybe he could turn it back around. Who knows?
That's it, Moss.
All right. So that is it. What a crazy show.
Yeah.
We spoke about bar brawls and Stipe Miocic versus Tyson Fury, Logan Paul, Derek Lewis.
Wonderful.
We did it all tonight.
Yeah.
And we went 30 minutes longer. So look, extra show.
Extra show.
There you go. Thank you for joining us. We really do appreciate you guys and gals coming back over and over and over again and witnessing the fiasco that is the MMA-Holes, the greatest community in the world. So if you're not subbed, give us a sub. Slap that notification bell. And we had to check mark the non-kid friendly box, which YouTube has now, which is interesting.
New regulation.
Yeah. So if you have a YouTube channel, there's this box they have to check. And apparently they're attacking family channels and kid-appropriate channels. They're demonetizing the family channels, which is crazy.
Well, they're trying to make it safer. There's a new law.
Yeah, the predators
Yeah.
out there. I don't know. Anyway, so we are an adult channel over here. So if you're a youngin' and you're watching this, make sure your parents are with you. And if not, go wake their asses up and tell them to watch. Go to bed. All right.
You're my best friend. My best friend.
What a roller coaster. You're the best, Jess. And that's why we like you. You're a fucking firecracker.
You know what it is? Sometimes you just get a little passionate about a topic.
Sometimes?
Sometimes. And you got to stand your ground. You can't let people walk all over you.
Okay.
You know? But I do appreciate the audience that we have, because even though there's a lot of trolling going on and some people might disagree, everyone's passionate. Everyone has an opinion, you know?
Yeah.
So it's not just me. And I think that's what makes it a little more comfortable, I think.
All right. Well, that's why you watch. It's the only MMA show that has this.
This roller coaster.
You're not going to see anything like this anywhere else. I can promise you that. All right, Jesse, say those magical words. We'll be back. We'll fight briefing tomorrow, and then
8 p.m. Eastern time.
Fuko Friday. I am on fire with Fuko Friday. Yeah. You ready to sing again?
No, believe it or not, I'm a little over it.
All right, people in the chat, if you are an MMA hole, drop that wonderful, and JBH.
Don't be an a-hole. Be an MMA hole.
Wonderful, wonderful. Wonderful, wonderful. Wonderful, wonderful.
Like foot was up on the